What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dissect That Film, where we dissect your favorite films, film franchises, and TV. Today, on episode 61 of the podcast, we are talking about the 1997 creature feature, Anaconda, starring Jennifer Lopez, Jon Voight, and Ice Cube. I'm your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, the wonderful Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. They're down there today.
We've been relegated to the bottom.
And joining us as our special guests are the wonderful gentlemen from Movie Dumpster, Joe Scola and Sean O'Rourke.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having us.
Hey,
absolutely.
This is a monumentous occasion. We've been waiting to do this for a long time, and finally here we are talking about a giant fucking snake. Yes. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm so excited. I am a huge fan of you guys, and I haven't really been listening to you guys as long. I was actually introduced to you from our good friend Johnny Browning. Who you know.
Really? Oh, yes. What's going on, Johnny Blue?
Yeah, good old Johnny Blue. Yeah, he's
a great dude.
He loves to hear about the BTS. Yeah. That's what I've heard.
Yes.
Yeah, he threw your guys' name out there one day, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll check them out sometime. And I didn't listen to podcasts for the longest time, even when we were doing them. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to start downloading a bunch of your guys' shows. The first one I ever listened to was your Halloween 6 episode, which was fucking classic
to start with.
Once I listened to that one, I was like, well, I'm never stopping now.
Yeah, that was a packed episode, too.
Oh man, that was such a good one. And really enjoyed doing that one.
We just watched Batman Forever, your Batman Forever podcast.
Oh yeah. Thanks. The Diddler.
Yes, I loved it.
No, that wasn't
around somewhere.
The Diddler.
That wasn't my first experience. Actually, I had an interesting one. I was like, because we had another guest before, and I didn't listen to their stuff. Who else do we have? I'm shitty at keeping up with people.
Justin from Epic Film Guys.
That's the guy. Anyway, so we're gonna have Movie Dumpster on at some point. And I was like, all right, I'll just watch one of their stuff. So I picked Blue Monkey because I've heard of it before, and I fucking think of Blue Monday by Orgy every time I hear that. That's what I want to say. Blue Monday. Like, no, that's that song by Orgy. But anyway, so I listened. I was like, okay, this is good, great. I actually bought the Blu-ray just the other day.
Oh, nice.
I've never seen it. I've heard of it. I think Johnny was the one that told me about it. Real honestly, I don't like anything insectoid, so I'm down with that. And then I was like, all right, let's watch the next one, Stepfather 2. And then it's like MDU. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What are they talking about? Because you don't talk about any of that in Blue Monkey. I'm like, what is this? What is the Winter Stepfather Project? What is going on? Why are you talking about Idle Hands? So I'm like 5 episodes years I've listened to, which is recent stuff. Predator 2.
It's a heavy boy, that one.
I didn't even realize that. Like, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
It goes from a pretty standard episode without a lot of side tangents, and then that one, it's like a solid 10-minute barrage pummeling.
Well, because that first Stepfather episode was so quintessential in the MDU,
right?
So when we came back to finally do it, we're finally doing videos, we were like, shit, we got to show all this stuff, lay it all out again for all the people that are joining the show for the first time to understand the whole timeline with Terry O'Quinn.
Right, and I'll keep this brief because I don't want to commandeer your show per se.
You're good.
But basically, if you're unfamiliar with Movie Dumpster, we have this thing called the Movie Dumpster Universe, aka the MDU, which is a play on the MCU.
Very cleverly named, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it's not based on Marvel at all.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. You want to get
sued? Basically, the concept is every movie is connected, and it's all kind of because of the evil Dr. Buchanan.
Joe Buchanan, yeah.
Joe Buchanan from Frankenstein Unbound, if you haven't seen that movie.
No, that's the big bang of the MDU. Yeah, definitely listen to the Frankenstein Unbound episode.
And so all that madness that you were just describing is because of that nonsense.
and his invention that rips holes in time and space.
Ah, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll have to go back and listen to it. I'm assuming you guys have a room with with the pins and the string all attached to everything.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's just off camera.
It's more like the Harry Potter room with all the memories and shit, like a line, like those big lines of
those one where he pulls it out of his head.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Charlie's in the other room right now trying to figure out who the hell Pepe Sylvia is.
Okay, carry on. At least we got some explanation. I don't know, but anyway.
Oh yeah.
There's now that we have video, we have these little special the MDU index. So if you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? You can go down in the description and click and be like, oh, bleeders, what's that? Oh, Granny Van Dam, what's that? There it is.
Okay, fair point. Thank you.
And even after you read all of them, you're still confused.
It's an ever evolved story and lore.
I just got excited when you talked about
time travel.
I just got excited when you talked about the in one of your live stream in May, the concept of Kaiju Month, because that's my love is Tokusatsu. Like I love that stuff. So
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I got my Mechagodzilla tattoo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I always wanted the cover of it's not the New World poster. I forget which poster it is, but it's Mechagodzilla and Godzilla for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 75. Or not 75, 74? No.
74.
It was the
original was 74, yes.
Yeah.
That's a great poster.
I always wanted that on my back, but I'm probably not going to get that. But that's awesome.
I'm pushing for it, but you do whatever you need to. That's my favorite movie of all time, actually, the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla.
So good, man.
So great.
So today...
No, I'll stop. Go ahead.
Today,
I'll stop.
we are talking about Anaconda.
So we're talking about Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, please,
1974. Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
When's King Caesar show up?
Oh, he's gonna fight the
statue.
Well, I mean, clearly you've already introduced yourself, but do you guys want to do a proper introduction of who you guys are and what you guys do?
Oh, sure.
Go ahead.
I'm Joel Scola.
I'm Sean O'Rourke,
and we are the Movie Dumpster Podcast, or just Movie Dumpster Podcast. We're not really sure. One of those.
Take your pick. You get the point.
But yeah, we're a movie review podcast with their own. You just heard us talk about it, but its own built-in universe, the MDU. And we just really like B movies and film in general, and we try to shed some light on some of the not so known things. We're not
forgotten gems, if you will.
Forgotten gems, if you will. There's other shows that dive even deeper than we do into like the SOV stuff and all that stuff, but we're kind of we deal with stuff a little bit higher than that. You know, stuff like Blue Monkey, like we were just talking about, or like Project Metal Beast, shit like that. Yeah, we're also a movie review podcast, and
we mostly, I feel like, do a lot of horror, but we jump around. We do action, sci-fi, comedy.
Horror is the big one. Our main focus is on horror, but we're not strictly a horror movie podcast.
Right, like what you guys were just talking about, Batman Forever. We did that. I mean, Stepfather 2, I guess, is kind of a horror movie.
It's totally a horror movie.
Absolutely.
Like we did a commentary track for Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth.
That movie's bizarre.
Shit like the Hug a Bunch, which is like a kids movie. Munchie was another one.
Leaping Leprechauns, right? Was it Leaping Leprechauns?
Leaping Leprechauns, yeah.
Oh God,
Moonbeam classic, yeah.
Giving me flashbacks, PTSD from some of these films.
A lot of films that we liked as kids, or like grew up renting in the video store, that we don't hear a lot of people talk about.
Baby's Day Out.
Baby's Day Out. There you go.
That's an old one, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's one I always go back to. Yeah, that's basically it.
That's it.
All right. Well,
comedy, sci-fi, horror, everything in between.
We appreciate you being here. It's definitely a huge honor for me, especially since I'm such a huge fan of you guys. And to be able to talk to you is definitely something that I've been waiting for. Oh, thank you. I saved it just for today. I've had it for like a week, but I was like, I gotta break it in for when I actually sit and talk to these guys.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
Since Parker decided to be a fucking turncoat, I figured I'd represent us today.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you guys, though. Seriously.
Yeah, of course.
So today we're talking about Anaconda from 1997. This just celebrated its 25th anniversary, which is wild, because I remember seeing this when I was really, really little. I think this came out when I was 5 or 6. So, and I remember seeing it right as it came out on VHS, because I think my grandmother actually bought it, and she didn't care what I watched. So there it was, and I loved it.
I saw this in the theater.
Oh, that had to be great.
I mean, I was little. I don't know. I'm 34. So how old was I in 1997?
I'm the oldest one here.
Are you?
Yeah.
So you were like 8, 9. 8, 9.
There you go. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I was gonna say like 8
I'm
or 9.
I'm 30.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
So I'm the baby of this whole group here.
Well, y'all look better than I do, so thank you.
Shut up with that shit.
I appreciate it. I think I look like a hat full of assholes, but that's funny.
You can't, because I have to be that guy. No.
I mean, I definitely didn't.
You
see
guys
it
can
in
hold
theaters.
hands
This
and walk
is
down the
definitely
street
one that was
together.
I'm
Yes,
fine with
we
that.
will.
Yeah,
In the
exactly.
rain together. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Please.
this was definitely one that was on the USA channel all the
Oh
time.
Was it
yes,
really? Yeah, I guess it was.
yes, it was. I remember seeing the
There's
Up
very
next,
little they have to cut out.
Anaconda.
Yeah, this was an HBO too, I think, right?
Yep.
It was on all
Yeah.
the time.
I think I did watch it on VHS, but I think most of my viewings were from USA or wherever it was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with Jaws. I own Jaws 5 different ways, but yeah, if it's on, I'm a dumbass who still has cable. If it's on cable, my dumbass is sitting and watching it again.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those films that if it comes on, you're just like, all right, I guess I'm watching this now.
Yeah.
Yep. I've only seen it a million times, but whatever. So this movie was released April 11th, 1997, directed by, this is a rough one, Louis Luosa. I probably just butchered that director's name.
Yosa? What is it again?
I think he's Peruvian or he's from
Yes,
Brazil.
he
I was
is.
reading one of them.
Yeah,
I think it's
he's
Yosa.
from Peru.
Louis Yosa.
He's pretty much only had like 3 films under his belt. One was Sniper, which I think was Tom Berenger. And then The Specialist, which was Sylvester Stallone, I think.
You're forgetting a very special movie.
All right,
Uh-oh.
hit me.
You're forgetting the very excellent Watchers 3 with Wings Hauser. He directed that film as well. So yes, I'm a big fan of Mr. Luis Yosa.
They don't even mention that movie in his filmography.
Oh really?
It's not
Oh,
even
no
like
way.
I have his list. There's nothing
No
there.
love.
I saw this and I was like, wait a second, he did that movie? It doesn't even say who the fuck directed it on here.
He loves.
If I'm
he
wrong,
loves.
just shoot me in the head.
He loves movies about the Amazon because he had 2 movies in a row that had Amazon in the title. One of them was 800 Leagues Down the Amazon in 93. Actually, both of them came out in 93, and the next one was Fire on the Amazon.
I thought Leagues was
man.
a depth. It wasn't like a distance. Like, what is he talking about with that title? I'm confused.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
This man's career soared after Anaconda.
I wonder why.
Or before
Yeah.
that, he did a bunch of he did a few B movies. What was the one? Los Angeles Future something or other.
It was
Future
like there was
Crime,
Hour
Los
of the
Angeles.
Assassin in 87, and he did Crime Zone in 89.
Crime
I don't know
Zone,
if that was the
it.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. His
Like
last
Crime
movie was in
Zone, Los Angeles 2020 or some shit
Yeah.
like that.
His last one was The Feast of the Goat in 2005. I don't know anything about any of the movies I was just talking about. He just
Didn't fucking see that for sure.
yeah, yep, all about it. Oh man, so
And
this
he
movie
did
is-
do Watchers 3, right? Am I not crazy?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Just
He was involved in some
if
way.
I have
Yeah,
I have my
exactly.
pages
Okay.
open. If I have too many pages open, I get all confused. So they look at all the things
Oh, you
I
are
always
totally
have
good.
IMDb up, so
Oh my goodness. This movie was written by Hans Bauer, who wrote this movie. He wrote Komodo in 99, which is an
Awesome movie.
Oh,
Better than this movie.
we were just talking. Is it? I don't
I
know.
would
We were talking about that.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I just remember it being it was just
Yeah,
Anaconda
remember the
with
eye on
Komodo
the
dragons.
tape?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
It was like going through the gate, like with the chains and shit.
Yeah.
Komodo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kills that dog.
He fucking wrote
You
Titan
always
AE.
said
It's so
We were
good.
talking
And then
about
yeah, one of the writers did. And then he wrote Anaconda the Blood Orchid one, which was the sequel.
Oh, the Hunt
in
for the Blood Orchid.
2004.
Yeah, part 2.
That's
Another
what the
writer
orgy
was-
pit.
Yeah. Another one was Jim Cash, who wrote Top Gun, Dick
Oh,
Tracy, Flintstones 2,
Ah.
the Welcome to Viva Rock Vegas.
Oh yeah, Viva Rock Vegas, the classic Viva
Yes.
Rock Vegas. Yeah.
So good.
Oh,
Alec
yeah.
Baldwin's Barney.
And
Oh, I think
Anaconda
Stephen
2.
Baldwin.
Oh no.
Oh no. Was Stephen Baldwin the one in Biodome?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, him and Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Music was done by Randy Edelman, who is well known for music from Triple X and Last of the Mohicans. What a difference between those two films, huh?
Jesus. Say Last of the Mohicans actually has good music from what I remember.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing Triple X like tripping on fucking like meds because I was sick and like all my friends wanted to go out and we went to see Triple X and I left the theater like all like lightheaded and shit.
You're like, that was great.
Anyway, so that's my experience with Triple X.
Was that Ice Cube or was he in the sequel?
I think that's the sequel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that was the sequel. Yeah, oh god. This movie's budget
better from what I recall.
Well, there's 3 of them now. Jesus. Vin Diesel had to come
Is
back
there?
15 years.
Cubed.
It was
Triple X cubed.
Yeah, it was Triple X State of the Union, and I can't remember what the third one was. But Vin Diesel came back after like 15 years.
Sex text.
Oh,
what
Lord.
is it? Sex text.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
It was came back for the porn parody.
Oh
No,
God.
the sex tuplets, right? How many is that?
You know it exists.
That's 6.
Yeah,
I think so.
Had an easy time naming that one, surely.
Yeah.
Listen, we just talked about E.T. a couple weeks ago, and of course, Dan had to bring up the
yeah.
E.T. porn parody.
I had to
because
do it.
people need to know
the
that
German
exists.
one? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Lord, that's
We've
terrifying.
joked about that in the past. I don't even remember what episode. I think it was you were saying, imagine, or we were talking about ET fingering your asshole.
Oh, they do a little of that
instantly.
Oh my God,
You were saying that. I don't remember what episode that was, but we had talked about that at one point too.
Oh boy.
If E.T. did that to you, would you look like one of those glowworm toys?
You could. Oh, dude, it lights up your belly. Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
The lights coming out of your mouth.
Oh god damn! It's already off to a great start.
Meanwhile, you're just ejaculating constantly. Like it just doesn't stop. He's just hitting that walnut, dude, and you just can't stop.
They got the Terminator theme playing in the background.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, okay.
God.
Oh lord.
I was gonna start with a good one, dude.
So
we're already falling
Off
into
in
the
left
The budget-
field, like way over there.
Oh, listen, this is how this show always goes.
I tried.
The budget for this movie was $45 million, and it made over $130 million, $136.8 million, which in 1997, that's a successful movie.
Good turn on investment.
But I think most of that budget had to have been for the CG because according to research, the CG cost $100,000 per second.
They should have invested better.
Wow.
And there's a decent amount of CG in this movie.
TVs.
No.
Meanwhile, I'm doing like special effects like on my computer doing CG, and it's definitely not $100,000 per second.
Because like I was thinking, I mean, obviously we're gonna talk about this, but I was just thinking like at the time I don't remember it looking that bad, but like on my 4K HDR TV, I'm like, ooh, on some of those kills. Not all of them, but some of them.
There is some good CG in this movie, considering though.
Yeah.
For the time. I watched it on Netflix because I just didn't feel like putting in the Blu-ray, so I was like, oh, it's on Netflix, it's fine.
Sure.
It didn't look great on Netflix.
We bought that together. We were supposed to watch it.
$5. You think I care if I throw this stupid thing in? It costs $5 on Amazon. If you want Anaconda on Blu-ray, everybody, it costs $5 on Amazon right now.
That's less than 20.
And you get this really shitty cover for it.
Oh, did you by chance click the menu button on that, by the way?
No,
if you
because I didn't watch the Blu-ray.
No, if you go to the menu on that Blu-ray, you hit menu, it's just the image of Anaconda and just play movie. Like, that's it.
Oh, that's exciting.
Nothing else.
That's
I'm
exciting.
gonna take a wild guess and say there's no extra features on there.
Literally just
a theatrical trailer.
That is a negative because usually it'll tell you, and there's nothing there.
Pissed.
$5, everybody.
Whatever.
Google it.
Oh my lord. So Chris Farley was actually asked to star in this movie, and he turned it down because he was doing Beverly Hills Ninja at the time.
Well, okay, he made the right choice.
Yeah.
That movie's
Imagine though.
That is a treasure, that film.
It's like imagine Anaconda with Chris Farley, and then imagine Shrek with Chris Farley. It's kind of the same for me. Wow. Like that same situation.
Yeah, but like how do you do Anaconda with Chris Farley without making it a
straight
comedy?
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine him get picked up by the CGI snake?
Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ!
Doing his whole bit.
Oh, he wouldn't have died. They wouldn't have.
It would be pretty funny.
pratfall all over the place. He accidentally kills the snake somehow.
Yeah,
he's the one who has to climb up the ladder in that smokestack at the end, but instead he gets stuck because he's a big dude. He was just getting stuck up there, like, I can't get out.
And the heat would cause him to shoot out like a cannon and it'd be all comical and shit. Like, oh! He'd pull up at the beginning of the movie in a van down by the river that he lives in.
Yeah, he knocks something over and like kills John Voight somehow by accident.
Oh my god, so funny. John Voight is the MVP of this movie, by the way. Like, and by MVP, I mean it doesn't take much for this movie because the performances, none of the performances are very good. They're there. They're tolerable.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez is nice to look at.
Oh yeah.
She's pretty young in this. She's got no meat on the bones in this movie.
What are you talking about?
She's skinny as hell. Look at a picture of her today. She's way thicker.
Where it counts.
Did you see where she was walking away every time and you saw the J-Lo booty?
Bigger boobs now.
I'm talking about her ass.
He has no ass in this movie.
What are you?
What? No ass.
John, you need to go back right now and rewatch certain scenes of this movie.
Holy jeepers!
Were you watching the VHS, Sean? Were you watching the VHS? Is that why you didn't see anything?
I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed that part.
Yeah. The Anaconda doesn't want none if she doesn't have buns, huh? Right?
That's it.
I've got it written right here.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
I guess I must have missed that. She's just very skinny in this. I don't know. I don't know why I'm hung up on that. I mean, whatever. More power to her, but
yeah.
That was the first thing I wrote in my note.
I mean, there's a lot of like early performances in this movie. You had J-Lo, you had Ice Cube. You know, what did he? I mean, he was just a member of NWA at the time. I don't think he was doing many movies before that. Oh, I meant, or what was Friday? What was the other one?
Yeah.
Not Menace to. Is it Menace to Society? Or what's the one that?
IMDb is broken.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. That's what I'm thinking of. When was that? Like 94, 95?
Friday was 95.
There you go.
So they're all in the pocket there. So he's had a little
91.
Well, they're starting to break out, right? The rappers and the singers, like into the movie.
This is definitely got to be. I mean, you guys might have the stat there, but this might be Lopez's first big movie.
Could be.
Selena. She did.
No,
Selena
when did Selena come out? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. You know, she did Selena before this. Did she forget how to act between movies? Did she leave that at the door? I mean, she's not horrible in this.
Well, that's her. This is like her first like action movie. You know,
sure.
What I mean?
She's fine in this.
She did.
She's
Selena
not.
She's
97.
great in Selena.
Oh, so she did Selena the same year as this. Wow.
Yep.
So it probably wouldn't even. Yeah, it wouldn't have been released while she was probably recording.
She was really focused on that Selena script. she was putting all her man out into that.
Oh yeah.
So we had John Voight, of course. Who's the villain of this movie, and boy, does he just put everything out on the table for this with that terrible accent.
No, I'm
and
going
his
to
faces.
Get the snakes. Gonna get the snakes.
You're right, though. His faces too are great.
Is he trying to imitate Robert De Niro in some way?
Yeah, but that's what he looks like in the movie, dude.
He does. He's always got that really. He's always got that.
It's supposed to be
like he smelled something bad or something. Like
always that horrible grimace the whole time.
He's supposed to be doing like a South American accent, but it's just like
supposedly his character is Portuguese as well. That's why he sounds like that, and it's terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess
But
it
it
could
was
be
never
white
the
Spanish,
same.
but I'm sorry,
like,
John
what
Voight
country's
doesn't
it
look
from?
Spanish.
No, not at all.
He doesn't necessarily sound Spanish or
No.
Portuguese.
That's what he's going for, though.
And for anyone who
Al
doesn't,
Pacino in Scarface.
yeah.
Hey, Kagoro, you know that's what he sounds like.
Yeah.
He's doing a bad accent. Well,
so
he
bad.
is.
And for anyone who doesn't know, John Voight is Angelina Jolie's dad. Just a random fact. I figured, there's people out there who probably don't know that. We won't go any deeper into that. Eric Stoltz is in this for 2 seconds. I swear, like, does he actually play in movies from beginning to end, or is it just kind of like I'm here for 5 minutes and something happens?
Yeah,
The Fly 2. Yep, that's it.
Dude,
we haven't seen that yet. We did do a review on The Fly.
Oh man,
but we haven't done The Fly 2.
2 is pretty good. It's weird, but I mean I think it's a decent sequel. Like it's not the Cronenberg masterpiece that is The Fly, but it's a fun B movie.
I was gonna say he got more work in this movie than he did in Back to the Future, where he was just immediately replaced.
Well, they kind of fuck him off for this movie too. They're like, all right, get out of here.
I think he did more work on Back to the Future, but he just did. He just wasn't in the actually
Right.
the theatrical.
He shot
He did the whole thing, and then they're like, "Nah, get out of here."
Scrub
It's
it.
I
just,
hope he
it's
got paid.
well, to be honest,
I
I
hope
feel this
so.
character would have been so much better. He must have been doing other things during the filming of this because there's no like that has to be the only explanation for him being in this for 5 minutes, and then like his character,
Yeah.
whatever happens to him happens, and then the end of the movie he's back.
Could you imagine
Like,
that
oh, I mean,
conversation?
It definitely creates like a situation in the movie where you have this like element that you forget about. So there is that, but I could totally see that, Parker.
I can just imagine like, Eric, here's what you're gonna do in this movie. You're gonna open it, say like 2 or 3 lines, throw it a wasp, and then you'll be back at the end. For like 2
I
seconds.
forgot he was in this movie. I'm like, oh, Eric Stoltz. Yeah,
Oh
okay.
shit!
He's
Save
the
the day
wasp
later.
guy.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
wasp guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still not exactly sure how that works, but
No,
Again, how do you not notice that? But carry on.
yeah.
How is it just
How did
in
it
your
stay there?
respirator?
I remember as a kid watching this movie when he tells the story about the little catfish that crawls up your dick.
Kangaroo.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I for some reason every time the incident happened, I always thought it was that. I'm like, shit, the thing he warned everybody about it happened to him because I never just paid attention enough. So, yeah, why is it in his mouth? Yeah.
Every time they showed the wasp in the respirator, you like left the room because you were so like upset.
Yeah. I was like, oh no.
I want to see the semantics of like John Voight sticking that in the respirator.
Hold still.
Okay, don't move. Get in there. Don't
Yeah,
you
yeah.
move.
Don't
He
sting
talks it
me.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He whispered. He's like He's like the Peruvian Gandalf.
He's like fucking petting it. Just get in there real nice.
Stay in there, yo.
I will say the
Die, you
subsequent
fool.
the subsequent scene, even though it doesn't show much, I still like it. Just hits me. The whole knife in the throat thing.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh,
that gets
it's a
me
good scene, it's a
every
good scene.
time. Well done. I know. I'm like,
And
Rescue
stick the pen in
911.
there?
No.
Rescue
All right, well-
911.
I went like 6 months after watching that fucking episode,
Does, they,
not being able to eat because I'm like, I'm fucking choked.
does anybody remember this?
And yeah.
Wait,
I
does
didn't,
anybody
I didn't
remember?
watch Reno.
Okay, no, Rescue
Rescue
911.
Oh, Rescue. No, I didn't see that.
I don't remember this particular thing.
So there was me and my wife, we always remember this. Is that there was a flight on a plane, and a guy starts choking on food, and they have to like cut his throat open and take it out. And I always remember that shit, and that's what I think of when I think of this scene.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful.
That's where my
Tracheotomy with
anxiety
a
attack
ballpoint.
started.
Oh yeah,
7 years
Oh
old.
God.
like the nastiest kitchen knife ever. Oh, it's clean enough.
We also have
You know, that
Jonathan.
thing's grimy later when they show it.
It's
We also have
always
Jonathan
dirty.
Hyde in this movie.
Yes.
Robin Williams' dad in Jumanji, and he was also in The Mummy. I couldn't remember his name in The Mummy, but he's there.
Van Pelt.
Yes.
Don't read
Yeah,
from
Van
the
Pelt
book.
and Jumanji also.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, don't
And,
read from the book.
He was also in a
Here I
show.
come, Sonny Jim.
He was also in a show called The Strain, which came out a few years ago. It was a Guillermo del
Oh.
Toro vampire movie, or show on FX.
Did you guys see that?
I did.
Did not.
Yeah,
I watched the first season. I need to go back and check it out.
it's good. I
suck. I
won't say
don't
it's
watch
great, but it's
shows.
Guillermo del Toro. If his name's attached to something, I'm usually gonna watch it.
I know the effects are really cool, and the designs
yeah.
that they chose were pretty neat. Yeah.
And the man, the myth, the legend, Owen Wilson, and he doesn't say "wow" in this movie, which is very
Wow.
disappointing. Wow.
Wow, I'm
That's a
here.
big snake.
We're
Wow.
we're gonna shoot an anaconda. That's we can make $1 million on that anaconda.
I was gonna say maybe if we get
What
the
are you shouting?
Farley version, we might have got some wows
Oh
as
my
Farley's getting flung
Chris-
around.
Chris Farley and Gary
Come on, Gary.
dicking around on the boat.
Oh
Gary.
man.
Thank God they 86 this guy quickly.
Imagine it like Black Sheep,
Yeah, he
but
was-
on like this
He's gonna
boat
get-
in the Amazon.
David Spade's
No, but it's not David
But
Spade.
it's
It's
Owen
Owen
Wilson.
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 Oh my
He
God.
gets attacked by a snake. For the love of God!
He's shaking. Oh, for goodness
They're
sake.
driving the boat and the fucking front hood comes up. I don't know how it works, but that's what happens. Was that
Gary,
Tommy Boy or-
what did
that was-
you
that was Black
do?
Sheep.
No, that was Tommy Boy
Oh, yeah.
with the deer.
And Carrie Werner, or however you pronounce her name, she's the one who plays Denise. And the only thing
Yeah.
I remember her from is like 3 or 4 years later, she did Eight-Legged Freaks with David Arquette.
Yes. Yes.
That's all I remember her from.
Okay.
There was something else that I saw, but who could care?
Yeah, exactly.
But
And-
but Eight-Legged Freaks is great.
Yes, it is. I watched it recently because it was on Netflix, and I was like, well, screw it. I haven't seen this movie in years. It's so stupid, but it's so great. And it's got young Scarlett
One of your
Johansson.
faves, right? Oh yeah, it does have Scarlett Johansson in it.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I got that whole arachnophobia problem, but from what I recall, that movie, all the spiders look fake as shit.
Well, they're all CG.
Arachnophobia, on the other hand, I'm good.
Well, are you afraid of giant spiders or like regular sized spiders? I'm afraid of a giant spider.
I mean, what about a kind of a big spider?
The Venezuelan spider is kind of a big spider. I mean, the thing's like this big.
I don't know, just spiders in general, but mostly like the tarantula type. So like those ones with like
big
the
hairy
huge
mothers,
blue ass that I'm just like, I know they're like in the Amazon. They're not coming near me in Northern America, but I'm still worried about it. You never know.
Got to watch out for those brown recluse.
Someone might put it inside my respirator if I go scuba diving.
Fucking tarantula in there. Okay, tarantula, you go in the fucking thing. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you some facts about how that almost be worse.
Oh god,
I'm a big spider guy. Actually,
I'm good. Well, I'd rather not hear.
I majored in entomology in college, and I worked in a spider.
That's awesome, dude.
I took care of like 3,000 to 5,000 spiders at any one time. I love them. Kept tarantulas for years.
You're the polar opposite. They don't bother you at all.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. But chimpanzees, monkeys, apes, no. Like I can't do. They freak me the fuck out.
Freak me out, dude.
I would not mess with something that could literally rip my balls off without even trying, and then claw my face off in the same motion.
There's that weird thing. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent.
No,
never mind. Go ahead. Carry on.
Keep going. I'm listening. I don't care.
My irrational fear of apes. No, just like. You ever see it? If you ever see them like in the zoo or something, and you're looking at them, you're like, "Oh my god, they just freak me out because they're not too far away from us, or vice versa." You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They're too strong.
I have this like existential crisis when I see them.
Yeah, exactly.
Too strong and too smart for their own good. And I think of Congo, and I always think of stop eating my sesame cake.
Oh yeah, good gorilla.
Well, you got Ernie Hudson there to help you out at least. He's got that laser machine gun or whatever the fuck they have in there.
Stop.
I cannot wait till we talk about that fucking movie.
The guy that got grabbed, his leg got grabbed by the orangutan or whatever.
Oh, it was on Twitter. Some dude gets grabbed by through like an orangutan cage. The dude grabs his leg. I'm like, I'm out. Like I can't do this. I can't do this.
I saw that.
That leg's
was
coming
brutal.
off.
It wouldn't let go. Yeah.
Just take your pants off and go.
Well, he had his leg. That wasn't just his pants.
I know.
I'm curious to hear your or watch your Congo episode.
Yeah,
I'm all there for that.
To be honest, I've never seen Congo, so
really,
it'll be my first time. I love the first time experience, and then doing the show. Like I had never, when we did The Fly, I had never seen The Fly.
What?
So it was great. We had all of us had never seen The Fly, so it was great.
Have you seen the original one too, or no?
I have seen the original because I loved Vincent Price. So I used to watch a lot of his, like House of Wax and stuff like that. Great movies.
Yeah.
And a fact about this movie that I didn't know until I watched your Peg Warmers episode yesterday was that the fact that Frank Welker is the voice of the Anaconda.
Yes,
he sure is.
That was what we were talking
Frank
about.
Welker. Of everything.
Yeah,
we were just talking about that. I'm like, yeah, snakes don't make noises. No. So it's like this weird thing where it's like, doing the Frank Welker's thing. He sounds like Yoshi from fucking Mario Brothers because it's Frank Welker.
Oh, the movie, yeah.
It's just like the screaming shark in Jaws for the Revenge. It's sharks don't roar like a lion.
Metaphorical, you know what I mean?
I thought that was the truck,
just like the truck in Duel. It's like
that's exactly what I was talking.
We used it, yeah. But like this fucking snake's like, screaming and shit when it's on the fuking fish hook and stuff.
I mean, what hasn't Frank Welker done?
It's true. It's so true.
Imagine being the voice of wasn't he he was the voice of Fred from Scooby-Doo, right?
Yep.
Scooby-Doo, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, we need you to
Stripe from Gremlins.
He has 885 credits on IMDb for acting.
And how much shit was he not credited for? Like Wind in the background, Frank Welker.
Yeah, right.
I hope I can meet him one day.
That'd be nice.
That'd be cool. I'll have a fucking pile of shit for him to sign and be like, here you go. I need you on my Anaconda VHS.
Can you sign right on the snake's forehead for me, please?
Yeah,
God.
right there, Frank Welker.
Like, which time was?
Can you sign my $5 Blu-ray, please? The snake's right there.
Yes. There you go.
That's like that would be one I would put. I would like proudly display with like its face out and be like, well, "What's that? Who's that? Oh, that's Frank Welker."
Not Megatron, nothing like that. Like, no, it's just
or Ray
Anaconda.
from Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
or anything like
no,
that,
no, just Anaconda.
Listen, I'm gonna. I got my Blu-ray of Dark Knight Rises. Whenever I meet Tony from Hack the Movies, I got to make sure he signs my Dark Knight Rises.
What the fuck is that about?
Sign it.
He was in the movie. That's
it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk
Don't
about that
feed
in
his
another
ego.
Oh,
He's
God.
in a shot that he's not even actually in.
Oh, he's.
You can't even see him.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's a big
watched
crowd scene when he's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're
it's
all
at the
going
stadium.
to yeah.
We watched it recently
Like, I think
for
he
our
was
review,
blown
and after I watched the movie, I literally tweeted at him. I'm like, "Where were you?" I was looking
what
too.
are you
I was
doing?
like,
Totally saw him. That big giant wide shot where everybody's indescribable. You totally saw him.
Okay.
I have a friend that's
Get your
like that. He was in
magnifying
he was in the 2014 Godzilla. Friend of mine.
like,
Friend of mine.
Yeah.
He's right here in this scene. I was like, were you? Like, I guess.
I was running towards this building.
Yeah.
That's by the way,
Oh.
total dream of mine, because I'm a huge Godzilla fan. Is I always want to be like in the crowd running from Godzilla. That's like a life
Wouldn't that be
goal.
awesome?
I mean, they're
It's like
doing
superimpose yourself
some.
into one scene.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing some kind of sequel to Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they're going to be working together or fighting again, but mate, your chances out there is what I'm saying.
They started business together. Yeah.
I know there's a
Absolutely,
Godzilla show coming out too on Apple TV.
Monarch, yeah, the
Monsterverse.
Yeah, the Monsterverse.
I'm
one.
not signing up for Apple TV just to watch that show.
Yeah.
I'll just
So
that is
bitter
one of those
about
things
it.
where I'll go to the internet and be like, okay, I'm gonna watch reviews about
Yeah.
it.
We have a friend that dumps
we're
a
gonna
lot of
review
things
it,
on
so you can just watch our
servers.
review on it.
Oh, perfect. I will come to you guys. Will be my outlet for that. That's fantastic.
We always have to cover everything Monsterverse because that was the first series we ever covered on this show. So
Right.
anything
Cover more
Monsterverse, we got to do
Godzilla
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'll get you.
Awesome.
All right. Anaconda.
Finally, the movie.
You guys, does anybody have anything behind the scenes that they want to share? Did they know about this movie before we do our plot breakdown?
Not particularly. I know that. So I was looking at the effects for this, and there's like a ton of people from different studios, like effects houses, and some of there's practical effects, obviously, but then there's also CG. But one that stood out was the guy who sculpted it. I forget his name. Starts with an N, but he was from Steve Johnson's XFX studio, Steve Johnson's company. So that was pretty interesting. I thought. I mean, for some reason, I thought like Stan Winston had done this. I know he did the crocodiles for Lake Placid.
Yes.
Yeah,
but,
he did.
Yeah. That's about it. You know?
I mean, they're very good.
There's really not a lot when it comes to trivia on this movie, just from looking through just your basic stuff like IMDb and Wikipedia and all that stuff.
Let's make a giant monster movie. Here we go. It's just snake.
That's it. That's all we got.
Outside of like,
And
hey, I was gonna say outside of like the trivia of this is not realistic to an anaconda. Like, no shit.
way.
Yeah, no shit. I
It's
love
like
the crawl. Well, we'll get
Shark
to it.
doesn't do shit like that either in Jaws, but whatever.
Bullshit, it doesn't. We talked about the second
shark-
Jaws. I told you.
Yes.
It's all no, not cruel Jaws. Listen, the next time you watch Jaws 2, I'm going to talk about this. The next time you watch Jaws 2, look at it from the perspective that the shark is just trying to save these people's lives and doesn't know how to because it doesn't have hands and only has.
Wait.
When it pulls the guy toward the boat, like, oh, push you back so you can swim, and he hits the boat and dies. Like, oh no, I've done it too hard. You know,
the shark was just trying to get the boaters'
like
attention.
a fucking marshmallow.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's all he was doing. He's just trying to help out.
Oh, so great.
It makes the movie watchable now.
Oh yeah.
I hate that movie.
Oh man. Well, at least it's like you got Voodoo Shark in the fourth one. Yeah. Well, in the book anyway.
Well, yeah, in the
right
novelization. So this movie opens with a nice cameo, because I'm saying cameo because he's in this movie for 15 seconds, by Danny Trejo. He's I don't even think he was
put him in the
talking.
opening credits.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
The ADR was terrible.
Speaking Spanish, but
I don't think that was him though. It did not sound like it
Oh,
was
really?
him speaking Spanish. I mean, I don't know.
He's
There's nothing indicating that it was.
If you look at him, you're like, is that Danny Trejo? And it's like, oh, he doesn't have his mustache. That's why it's like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, is it?
Because this
This-
was during like what was the Robert Rodriguez movie he was in with George Clooney?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn, yeah.
Yes.
It was around that same time. So
Welcome to
I
the
call
Diddy
him young
Twister.
Danny
Yep.
Trejo, yet he wasn't young at this point. I think he was in his 40s probably during the making of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
that's when he
Jail.
broke out, though, was like his early 40s. That's when you started seeing him in everything.
Yeah, which is crazy, man.
This is my first experience with Danny
very
Trejo.
colorful.
So
Anaconda.
Yeah, that's my first time.
I think
that's
mine
the
was
Anaconda
fucking Spy Kids.
It was
Spy
definitely
Kids.
Dusk Till Dawn for me.
the
okay.
He's Uncle Machete.
Yeah, Uncle.
Yep,
Oh yeah,
yep.
that's right.
And then he plays Machete later on in a more graphic
Yeah,
version.
same character, by the way.
Yep.
It literally is.
I love how Spy Kids is canon in the Machete universe.
And well, the girl who played one of the kids, she was in the second Machete, I think, and she was in lingerie the whole time.
Movies?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh boy.
Steven Seagal was a bad guy in one of those.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I only saw the first one.
God, Steven Seagal sucks.
I saw the trailer in Grindhouse. That was it.
Oh yeah, Danny Trejo. He's not in this long at
No,
all.
no.
They have this awesome POV shot of like what I
Yes.
guess you know it's Anaconda when you're sitting there watching the movie, but you're like, huh,
No,
what
it's-
is this creature
it's-
chasing him?
It's John Voight going through the water.
It just transforms. It's like Animorphs.
Mateo.
He just turns into a snake.
Danny Trejo. He ate him.
I do love that though. The POV shots really.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah,
cool. It,
yeah.
it definitely, they definitely were like, let's make this kind of like have that Jaws feel to it, where
Mhm.
you know what it is, but
big
you got to
time.
have that same shot. But did you notice? So it opens up. It gives you text. It tells you about anacondas, all bullshit information about anacondas
Oh yeah.
and how they're worshipped as gods and stuff like that.
Well, I don't know if that is untrue.
No. I'm not that everything, but everything else.
The
big
the
killing
most
machines.
voracious killing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
So we get all that text, and then the camera pans. Did you notice that when the camera pans behind the first tree after it fades or that text goes away, there's a dead body floating next to the tree?
Is there really?
I
Yeah.
noticed that.
The first shot you see, it goes by a tree, and there's just a dead body like propped up against the tree.
Really?
I was like, I have never seen that
I have to go back and look for
in
that.
any of the viewings.
Was that to signify the fact that it like because it's like, did you know that an anaconda is so voracious that when it eats something, it pukes it back up to eat something else?
Yeah.
Was that it? Like, oh, I'm gonna throw
Yeah.
this up and fucking
Like-
eat Danny Trejo.
Yeah, like the Hunger Games or something.
This guy's alive. I'll eat him.
Tasty.
Fuck.
They're like, hey, you're making a movie about anacondas. Here's a book about anacondas, and the director is like, open up the first page and just went,
I'm good.
They're big and scary. Fantastic.
That'd be scary. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
So Danny Trejo, he's trying to call for help. No one's answering, and he's getting attacked. It's very similar to how the orca gets attacked by the shark in Jaws. They're pretty much just recreating everything. The floor explodes under him. He smashes his head off the ceiling, but yeah, he's perfectly fine. He leaves, and then he crawls up the mast there, to the crow's nest. And it's the end.
Oh, he's Smiley, you son of a bitch, dude. Like he's up there, like
except he
his
puts it on
gun,
himself
and
instead.
then he blows his own brains out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he didn't have many rounds in that because what he fired like once or twice tops. He's like, fuck it, that's it. Like those are my two choices.
that's
like
it,
a
guys.
6 cylinders, 2 choices.
I'm always so confused by this because, like, why isn't he with other poachers? Like, what is he doing out there by himself? Is he like trying to get the golden goose like by himself?
Yeah,
So
that's what I think.
Yeah.
my thought process was that you at some point you see the picture of Danny Trejo, John Voight, and Mateo that they all work together to catch snakes. So I'm guessing that it's just a theory is that John Voight sabotaged this whole thing, and it's kind of like his whole mission is to pretend like he's stranded to have people pick him up to do this shit, and then if it fails, he just ends up fucking them all. And not in a good way.
I mean, it's possible.
Not the good fuck.
Yeah.
So after he kills himself, we then go and we meet J-Lo. And
Oh, we sure do.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sean,
very
I don't
true.
understand this scene. You see the J-Lo ass on display.
Maybe that was when I stood up for 30 seconds and sat back down. I must have missed the old ass cheek shot.
The old
I would have remembered that, I'll be
She
honest.
turns and they go like that.
Yeah, they had to cut out the
rewatch
clap
that
every
part.
time she walked.
This would have turned into a Pee Wee Herman situation quick if they left that in.
Oh God.
Oh Lord. So we meet
that
J-Lo's.
J-Lo was one hot piece of ass, dude.
Oh, we then
Let
meet
Chris Farley in the movie,
They left the sounds in the Anaconda movie. I just couldn't get my hands off Mike Johnson.
Well,
Pee Wee Herman. That's what I'm talking about.
oh, I was trying to put those pieces together.
I didn't want to spell the whole thing.
Wait
He
a
got arrested
second.
for jacking off in an adult theater like 20 years ago.
Wait, Pee Wee got arrested for jerking off during Anaconda?
I'm saying if they left the jiggling
No, he
in.
got caught jerking his
Just saying.
Anaconda in a movie.
Yeah.
There you go. It's all an analogy.
Exactly.
Do you think that's what he sounds like when he climaxes? Is that weird for people?
I mean, maybe that's why he got caught, because he was so fucking loud.
Who let
Sir,
Pee
you're
Wee
gonna have to
Herman in
keep it
here?
down. That's a
Oh
shit Pee Wee
my
Herman
God.
impression.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Oh.
just as you asked for this, remember
I
that.
did.
this is
And there's
great.
no
This is
regrets here. There's no
lovely.
regrets. Holy
Y'all
shit.
keep making me laugh, and we're gonna have to take breaks
Holy
and go
shit.
pee my pants.
So we meet J-Lo and almost Marty McFly as they discuss a documentary that they're going to shoot. And, he talks all smart and she just pretends to be smart. I just can't buy her being this type of person.
I didn't even realize she was the director till I looked at the credits after the fact. I just was like, all right, she's on the boat. She's part of this. I didn't realize she was literally the one in charge. They don't really convey that super
I don't
well.
buy her dating Eric Stoltz. At
Yeah,
all.
no.
What is with this? First, Parker, it's Marky Mark. You're convinced the man doesn't read books, and now you're shitting on J-Lo.
I know. I still don't think. Listen, that motherfucker is in my state right now. Just open up Wahlburgers, like he's just shitting them out of his ass right now. I need another Wahlburgers. Here's one down the street from you. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I understand you're from here, but holy shit, man.
I heard they're really good.
they are
I'm not
pretty
gonna
good.
lie. I kind of want one.
Oh,
I just want it for the gimmick.
but yeah, it's just they're everywhere. They're gonna be everywhere. So we then meet all the other characters. We got Ice Cube. I can't remember his name. We have Alan
Danny.
Parrish.
Danny?
Yeah, Danny.
Danny Rich.
We have Westridge, who is Alan Parrish's dad there. We got
Jonathan
Owen
Hyde.
Wilson, playing Gary. And the
Gary.
girl from Eight-Legged Freaks, the girl that I mentioned before, Carrie Werner. And the boat's Captain Mateo. And he's flirting with J-Lo real hard as they're, she's asking him to go to a certain spot so they can get a shot, and she's, he's all about it. He's got a sweet talker.
Let's be honest. I mean, this guy's got to is going to get money from these people to go wherever the fuck. Like he's going to take them wherever
Yeah.
the fuck they
Yeah.
want to go.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Beats catching snakes? Question
Yeah.
mark.
Till he sees John Voight, and he's like, "Fuck."
Well, it's all part of the plan, baby bird. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is driving that boat. He may know where John Voight is. They don't ever
Yeah.
totally
He
spell it out.
totally goes towards John Voight, and he's having his cake and eat it too. He's like, I'm gonna get these people to pay me to fucking take them out there so that I can have John Voight take over the ship and then get paid again when we catch the Anaconda.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Maybe.
probably accurate.
And then he forgets his sea legs and bye, Mateo.
Oh my god.
Whoa, that was the
shit.
most cartoonish fall I've ever seen.
This guy lives on the Amazon and he's struggling to get out of this boat and he's just like, oh shit. He falls out of the fucking thing like Daniel
I
Stern.
was gonna say Gennaro from Jurassic Park.
And Western shows up, and he's just a piece. He sucks. He's just coming in. He's barking orders. He goes over to Denise, and she's with the producer, and he's pretty much like, take my bags up to my room. She's like, I'm the producer on this. And he's like, okay, well then you could still bring them up there. And she's like, what the fuck? And she just walks away from him. It's like, what was the after? I wanted to know what he did when she just blatantly ignored him and walked away.
Just kicks him into the
I
water.
do love, and I'll mention it now because I'll forget later when they do the callback to that when John Voight kind of takes over the boat, and then John Voight tells him, "Hey, take my bags," and he's like, "I'm an actor," and he's like, "Boom!" Boom, he slaps the shit out of him. He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, take it now."
What did you say? You suppose you perhaps
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was a good callback later in the movie.
We then go to it's like a river montage where it shows Westridge, narrating different things going on in the Amazon. They're looking for the Shirashama tribe, which is this the people of the mist.
Shirashama tribe, the people of the mist. Richard Attenborough's there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, he kind of is like the Attenborough.
He's definitely channeling.
Yeah.
Definitely channeling.
Stuffy British guy. He's drinking tea and shit. He's
playing golf.
Yeah, and getting mad because he's playing golf and there's music playing. Like, get over it, dude.
The most stereotypical.
God forbid I used to give
person
a little music.
You urban ruffian.
Oh, so a storm hits. And of course, right as this storm hits, they're going down the river and there's a man stranded. He's, waving, asking for help. And when he gets brought onto the boat, he's like, "Oh, thank you so much for helping me. Thank you so much." Ooh, that was a big mistake.
Owen Wilson like catches him and they like fall together. He's like, "Thank you for saving my life." He just about kisses him on the mouth. They like roll over.
John Boyd will take it any way he can get it, dude.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, that's why Gary goes to his side. It's because they had that intimate moment.
Yeah. He touched me.
Right.
Denise doesn't touch me like that.
We touched fronts together.
Yeah,
we're basically soulmates. Yeah, the Anaconda connection. That's what this is called.
It's called docking.
Oh God, no, I can't make that word.
Lord.
Anaconda-docking.
So we find out the man's name is Paul Sarone, and he was
I can't get out.
Sarone. I always think of that French synth guy, Sarone.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, look up Supernature. It's a good song. Anyway.
So we find out he was a failed priest, or at least not according to him. Because they're like, "Oh, so you failed. And he's like, "I never failed."
Who said I failed?
No, who said I failed? Yeah, as he's like hacking at the fish.
Oh yeah, the fish. Right, yeah, he's cutting the fish up, yeah.
He didn't even descale it or anything. He just chopped this fucking thing into pieces.
Well, listen, I don't know if that dude needs to be priest anything. Like, all right, brother Sarone, let's get you away from the kids.
Wait, it's just
he's chopping the wood like that, telling these like war stories, scaring the shit out of like the 10-year-olds.
Is that to make them feel more like calm? Like, yeah, I used to be a preacher.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's fucked in the head, so
now I catch snakes.
I guess this is helping.
And now I catch snakes.
Now I catch snakes. I sell them to zoos and.
Do you remember the story of Adam and Eve?
Yeah, was he actually a priest, or was
that one?
He like one of these guys that's I'm a priest, but really it's just a cover for what he really is?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Well, depending on where you're at in the United States, you could do that as both jobs. You have snake handling churches.
It's also true.
Oh God, I forgot it. That's a thing. Oh man. Yeah. They've done like more than one X-Files episode on it.
Preacher and poacher, yeah.
And of course, Terry, she's like, "So you're you poacher," and he's just like, "Shut the fuck up." No.
Yeah. I don't poach anything. I get stuff for rich people. That's the what?
Yeah.
I get big snakes.
Oh, so they tell him what they're looking for, that they're looking for the Shirashama, and he's like, "Oh, I could get you to the Shirashama." He's like, they saved me once, so and I know where they are, so I'm gonna take you there. they're like, "Sure, let's go."
I know that I could take you to their village. They saved me one time.
I love though how Eric Stoltz is just like, "Well, I'm an expert on this, and because of the flooding, we should go that way." And John,
that was
that way,
yeah,
because that's obviously where the anacondas are.
Yeah.
Like, you're not in charge. We're doing what I'm saying. All right, go that way. And John Voight looks like he's gonna rip his fucking head off.
Yeah.
I know, right? God,
he's like, "Oh, I know the Shirashama," and he tells him the whole story. Like, they worship snakes and the snake gods, and he's like, "Yeah, that's great. It's a great story, except it's the other fucking tribe, idiot." And he's like, "Oh shit." And he's like, "Well, gonna have to take this guy out."
And then he goes and catches that wasp off camera.
Yeah. What did he catch it? Like, was it flying in the air and he just?
Yeah, I'm telling you, he was just talking to it, man. He's a man of the world,
whispering sweet nothings to it.
Yeah.
So and Denise asks, "Does a salad go well with the fish?" And that's when you get the first. Oh, of course, baby bird.
Oh yeah. What was the count?
Yeah.
Baby bird.
I think 4.
It's 3 or 4 times he says
4 baby birds.
It's
like 3 times
phrase,
back to back later on.
Toss my salad.
When they're at the waterfall, he says it a bunch of times.
We get a very just unnecessary scene between J-Lo and Professor Cal or Kale or whatever the hell his name is.
Kale.
And they're talking about fireflies and about how males glow brighter or I don't remember the exact thing, but they like the male flashes one way, the female flashes another way, and then they make out.
Sure.
I was like,
I mean, it's kind of like
exactly
a cute thing. We're like, hey, we're smart people and we're in love.
Yeah. I was in the movie The Mask. You remember that? Was that the Jim Carrey one? No, not that one. Did you ever see Mask?
I love that this movie.
Oh God.
This movie.
Oh, that's right. He's in that.
Yeah.
He's the titular Mask.
I really like that this movie subscribes to the like 50s, 60s logic of person is scientist, ergo knows everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, the problem is you take him out of the movie and then you're like, oh, that's kind of okay. Now we're stuck with Ice Cube.
Yeah, who's gonna swallow the wasp? Not Ice Cube.
Like Ice Cube's here to go, that's a big motherfucking snake, man.
Yeah.
That's
Stoltz has got to be the one.
Isn't he like the most logical character of the bunch? Like Danny?
Well,
like,
yeah, he
pretty
knows
much.
Yeah,
Especially by the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Sorry,
like,
I'm getting ahead of this.
He's like, I need to go back to LA. This is not what I signed up for.
Oh, I love that he keeps saying that. Like, this is bullshit. I'm going back to Los Angeles.
So during this makeout session, we see a panther get wrapped up by an anaconda, where it squeezes it so hard its eye pops out.
I kind of love that.
I hate this scene.
Bagheera gets bagged, yeah.
The stuffed animal Bagheera, where it's literally just
right.
There's no movement. It doesn't fight. It just.
Yeah.
Like, I like that they show the eye pop out. Like, that's cool. But my whole problem with this scene is like you're showing the anaconda before it actually does anything. Like,
yeah,
I thought that too. Like, it's too early. Don't show it.
Well, yeah, I wish it just showed the panther getting wrapped up without you actually seeing the snake.
That would be cool. I'd be into that. I would like that more. They show the head, and I'm like, you couldn't wait like 10 minutes.
We saw Danny Trejo get taken, and it's like you got to have one or the other, right? Because like to show the panther, it's one of those things where it's like, well, this animal's gigantic. You know what I mean? It's just taking it out like no problem. Like the fucking bear in Lake Placid when it jumps on land.
Oh yeah,
bear. Yeah. So like it's not a bad reveal, but I agree they shouldn't have showed the head, but I don't think they showed too much of it. It's to show the enormity of the snake.
I mean, I don't disagree entirely. I'm just saying, like, literally 5 fucking minutes later, or maybe 10, like, they make the first actual kill where you see it in all its glory. Like, it couldn't just wait. Whatever.
We got to up the body count, baby. Kill that fucking panther.
That's right. That's right.
Fuck you, Jungle Book.
Because isn't that like at the same scene where we have like or maybe it's a little bit after that where Owen Wilson and Denise are like making out in the fucking jungle?
A little bit later.
Recording the audio,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like literally 2 scenes away. Because the next scene is when Ice Cube and Westridge get into a fight because he's playing golf and Ice Cube's listening to his own song, by the way. It's a song he wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of some good meta humor there.
We got to get my song in this, right? He's telling Yosa, he's like, yeah, we got to put my song in this movie, okay?
I wrote this. Yeah. Get it in here.
And this is where you get the great conversation. I don't remember if this is when it happens or if this was a little earlier, but Owen Wilson talking about how the jungle makes him horny. He's talking to Denise. Whatever. It's in the scene. I'm just gonna stay.
Yeah. Hey, you ever feel like when the jungle gets you horny? What are you talking about?
She's like, I'm fucking working here.
They're like, why is this necessary? Who the fuck is gonna have sex on this sweaty ass boat?
No, right. But like, there's shit that can kill you everywhere, and it's like I don't want to take my clothes off, let alone stand here.
Right?
He talks about that when they first set sail.
Yeah, the fish that swims up your dick and the wild boar later. Like, what are you talking about?
Plus, it's probably like, 100 degrees easy, maybe 120 plus humidity. Like, fuck that. Like, every bug wants to come out and, like, just take a bite out of you.
Yeah. This person gets sick. Anyway, it's a movie.
This movie's got, like, Top Gun levels of sweat all the fucking time.
Everybody's sweaty.
Amazon is sweaty. All right. Top Gun. Everything is compared to Top Gun. When
it is, dude.
Everybody was sweaty.
It's the sweatiest movie ever.
The whole movie's just shot with
lamps.
Like,
I would argue Predator 2 might have a beat because they just are like showing sweat stains like a motherfucker in that movie. It could be close because they are in the Amazon.
Well, they're also wearing suits in that movie.
True.
And with pit stains, jeepers.
Yeah. So they run into the totem, and that's when they Sarone and Cal get into an argument about which direction they should go in and talk about the Shirishama and worshiping the Anacondas. No, that's the other one. And that's when he interrupts they're trying to film something, and he's just like, drop me off at the next, at the next village. And she's like, what the fuck was that?
It fucks the shot up. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's such a dick.
He's trying to not to let them film him or some shit, or like where they are, the whereabouts rather. I think.
So this is
Sounds
when
like
you
something he'd do.
Yeah, this is where you get the dumb scene where, again, I understand you're horny. I understand, you're two people who just, you got to get it on. But like, why would you wander into the fucking Amazon to go do it?
I think
I'd be taking a chance in the bathroom, honestly.
I mean, just like, guys, we're gonna do it right here in front of you all. You're just gonna have to deal with it.
Pretty good.
So
imagine that John Boyd comes up and smacks Owen Wilson's ass. Looking good there, hombre.
Doesn't touch the girl. Just go straight for Owen.
Make sure you go a little deeper.
Oh
God.
Yeah, make sure the penetration's nice. Hit the back wall of that vagina, Mr. Gary.
Hey, Gary, I'll show you how to work that snake.
Let me show you how to work that baby bird.
So when they're doing these things, this is when the boar shows up. All you do is hear it, but the reaction though is so late for these two reacting to the boar actually being there. Owen Wilson, it's like the guy was telling him to run, like the director, like run, and he's just like, oh, we gotta go.
They almost get taken out like the king in Game of Thrones. Like, the fucking boar almost gets him just about. Man. And then fucking John Voight comes out of literally nowhere with this rifle.
you think this is like it's like Predator, man. Like when they kill the fucking boar in Predator.
Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Well,
I actually kind of like this scene, though, because then it's like, okay, well, he's shot, but you don't see it. And then, like, the next scene, like, all the other characters hear the yelling and they run out, and it's just John Voight lugging this big-ass boar.
Yeah.
3 weeks, cut it up, Mateo.
Food. Anyway, one problem I had with the scene, would have made the scene a million times better, is when he turns around and she's undoing her top, she goes, wow.
Wow.
Just one
Would
time.
have been a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Wow. Look at those hooters.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm about to see some titties today. Wow.
Oh, absolutely. And everything Sarone talks about is it's deadly, deadly poisonous. Everything will go straight for the eyes. The gory in the eyes.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Is this gore leaping in the air like a fucking jackrabbit?
Yeah.
Right?
It's taking your stomach out.
Yeah.
Big time.
So the next scene, the boat gets, there was a rope hanging off the boat for some reason, and it gets tangled in the propeller. And
I think he did it on purpose.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Professor Kale is...
that scuba tank on, kiddo.
Yeah, you go in there. Oh, no, he's like, I'll do it. And then he knew that Kale was going to be like, nah, I'm good. Cocky bastard. Eat this wasp.
Yeah.
Put this wasp.
I guess would he shove it like further down the line?
He
maybe?
must have.
I guess that's the only thing that makes any
he's
sense.
not down there for very long before he's reacting to it.
Well,
20 seconds, maybe 30.
How does that get in your mouth without you being like, oh, like, you know what I mean?
Like you'd hear it, right?
Yeah, unless it like got in his mouth and like flew down his throat and then just like got stuck there. I don't know.
Well, the thing I don't know what kind of wasp he says it is. I can't recall. It looks like a fucking Pepsis wasp, which hunt tarantulas, by the way. Anyway, the thing is though, is like, how does it stay there? Because instinctually flying insects fly up in a circular pattern. So like the moment it got in there to try to get out, does he have like, this is a heat release wax that'll let it out after he's breathing in the respirator when it comes out? I don't know.
Could be.
It just seems weird.
Again, John Voight's magic, and he was talking to the wasp. He said, do me a favor and I'll let you out later. Okay?
There's definitely a serious like
his
plot
voice.
thing.
All right, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Where they're just like, we need to get this character out of the movie. We need to put John Voight in control. Don't overthink it. He got stung by this fucking wasp.
Wait. How are we gonna get Eric Stoltz as I don't know.
Bro, well, this convoluted bullshit. Don't overthink it.
You get a wasp and you put it in the
Think about
fucking
it.
thing, and there you go.
Oh,
What's the rating?
man.
Yeah, he could have
PG-13.
easily just gotten injured.
Yeah. He's like, "What's the rating? PG-13." Well, we can't put a catfish in his dick, so that's not going to work in this movie.
But we can show his throat literally get sliced open. We can do that.
I know, right?
Knife.
God. I think the sound.
Like this knife has just been sitting like in water for a month straight. It's like covered in rust.
It's gross.
Like nobody cares for it. It's the sound, I think. It's the like that thump sound when he goes in. Yeah.
And when he sticks
the blood spurting out.
I think that's what's it.
So yeah, so Sarone. Oh, sorry.
Exactly where to like stab it. No, it's okay.
Raise your hand.
Oh yeah.
It's your teacher.
So Sarone takes over the boat and pretty much controls where they're going. They run into a wall that he doesn't know about, and that's where you get the, "Oh, I thought this was the river you knew. You didn't know about this?" He's like, "Well, I don't know everything."
Like, I know this river, but this is new. I
don't know.
Right, to like keep the anacondas
to keep the anacondas,
but they're already like out. There's one of them is at least.
What pisses me off about this movie is that there's literally no natives in this movie, like at all.
Until the end.
Even at the end there.
Which I think is just some Discovery Channel.
Look, well, we'll get to it.
I think it's just some National Geographic footage that they just threw at the end of this movie, just so they had natives in it.
Right.
Or
they just filmed them like, you're shimmy shamans.
Yeah. Oh, he was right. Oh God.
When does he do the? When does he pull out the? Oh no, that's later. Keep going. No, keep going.
I love though that like he gets to this barrier and his solution is just let's blow it up. I guess.
Yeah.
Why they have dynamite, I don't know.
That wouldn't keep the fucking snake in. He could just walk around it or slither around it. It doesn't
slither. Yeah.
Is it to keep people out? I guess at that point,
Maybe.
then
I think so. Yeah.
Because there's no, you could get out on foot.
Well, it's like a warning because it's near another one of those totems, isn't it? And
I think you're. Yeah,
right.
And it's basically like, don't fucking come in here. And
like, don't come in here, dumbass. But let's blow it up.
Do it anyways.
Yeah,
and so
they blow it up and let's go in there.
Yeah, they blow it up.
Oh man, with the snakes and all the baby snakes fall and shit.
Yeah.
Baby snakes.
Like, oh, my babies, go back to your mamas.
Yeah, go back to your mamas.
And you got Wester just got one on his finger. Like, just pull the stupid thing off, man. Like,
oh, dude,
we're gonna get
this thing off my bloody finger.
It's not gonna end you.
I love how John Voight turns into fucking Muldoon from Jurassic Park talking about like the velociraptors. He's like,
yeah, they're so lethal even when they're babies on the finger. They're deadly at babies. Like, what the fuck ever?
Deadly.
Shut up. Everything is deadly.
6 months, and I mean lethal.
They should all be killed.
They should all be destroyed. Well, no,
all
I
be
need
destroyed.
them alive.
Yeah.
They should all be captured.
I was just thinking about Jonathan Hyde if he was Muldoon in Jurassic Park instead of that other guy.
Jonathan Hyde for mine. Oh yeah. He would. I don't know. I like whoever the angry motherfucker was in Muldoon in the original. I don't know how well it would work.
Bob Peck. Bob Peck is who played Muldoon in Jurassic Park.
Bob Peck.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking. I want the entirety
in real life. Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
A while ago.
I want the entirety of Jurassic Park redone shot for shot, but it'd all just be different snakes now. And it would just be Sarone, like being Muldoon. And like
John Voight as every character.
Yes.
Clever girl.
Oh my goodness. So all the fuel drums except for one fall off the boat. Shit just hit the fan.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And so pretty much he continues his little trip down the river, and that's when they run into the boat. The abandoned boat that we see in the beginning of the movie. So they're like, all right, well, they're
right. Is that what that is? Yeah. Is that what that's supposed to be?
It's Danny Trejo's boat, yeah. And Mateo knows what it is, and John Voight knows what it is.
Yeah, you can see the kind of the fear in Mateo's face, like, fuck.
Yeah.
I love how John Voight's like, a boat over there. Yeah, clearly has supplies. How do you know? Fuel. Oh, I just have an idea.
They have no idea how long that boat's been there, if there's other people on it or what.
No.
We talked about the logistics of if fuel floats or not, and it would probably totally float. Those barrels would not just sink to the bottom. Yeah, like if it was like raw oil, it would probably sink, but fuel should float close to the top, like maybe down a little bit, but it'd still have some kind of buoyancy.
Oh, really? So they're already downriver. They're gone.
Yeah,
unless they're trapped inside the boat somewhere.
I bet they just like first suspense
under the boat
go to the bottom of the river.
Yeah. He had it the whole
they
time.
Just stuck under there. Like that's the plot
Also,
twist.
That boat should have totally fucking sunk because the Anaconda literally is pounding like the planks off in the opening scene.
I think it's shallow there. That's why it's only like half.
I mean, they walk through it to get to it.
Walk through, yeah.
So Danny, Sarone, and Mateo go to the boat. Hopefully, they're supposed to be looking for fuel, but Sarone is all about finding his chest full of goodies.
He's got something very special in there.
And Mateo's like, he looks like he's never been on this ship before in his life. He's just like, ooh, holy shit. You see these floorboards?
Why is the rifle broken? The snake's like, I'm going to take out this motherfucker's weapons. It's like a rifle busted on the ground. Like, this never got brought up at all in the beginning of the movie.
It foreshadows the snake that gets shot in the head later.
I don't know why, like, again, I don't know why Mateo is so, like, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he's clearly in that photograph with the two of them. And, like, he's done this for how long? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's only ever driven the boat and really like Danny Trejo and
he's just there. He's just there for the pictures.
Guess. Yeah.
So
could be.
Sarone finds his chest, and this is when they both get off the boat. So Danny and Sarone, they grab the chest and they go away, and then they're like, "Oh, come on, Mateo!" And Mateo's like, and fucking falls off the boat like an idiot.
Fucking rat falls off this boat.
Yeah. And when
I remember being on my first boat.
And when he gets up, that's when the snake just fucking gets him right in the face, just wraps him up real good.
Right at him, yeah.
And
it doesn't look too bad here.
No, it looks pretty good for the time.
Like it wraps him around the tree too.
Yeah,
that's cool. Like breaks the tree.
Yeah, that's cool.
They do that a couple times to like show you the force, I guess.
Yeah,
of this thing, like breaks like this bulkhead thing that whatever or a tree, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
but also no one heard this.
No,
they were right there.
I know.
One
wasn't
heard
they
the loud splashing and
they didn't hear Frank Welker screaming over there?
What?
It was a toucan. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just a bus. It was
like voice
bus.
I do love the close-ups like on the body as it's being crushed though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The practical effects are really
kind of
good.
coming up like this to the face. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very good.
I like how the snakes look in this movie, even though they don't look anything like actual anacondas.
No,
not at all.
But the design is really
I was
cool.
reading. Yeah, I was reading that they specifically made the eyes wrong.
Yeah.
To make them look more intimidating.
Yeah, and so you can see because like aren't they? They're like more like to the sides of their head.
So snakes' eyes are on the side of their head, where they made the anacondas more like in the front.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, it just makes it look derpy.
Yeah, instead of being like it looking sideways all the time.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
It kind of, and I was reading. I guess the logic was like compared to like Jaws, like you were just talking about a little earlier. Like in Jaws, the shark's eye is always black every time they show it, even though technically it wouldn't be in real life. Well, same kind of concept, just to make it scarier.
Well, the shark's eyes are black.
Yeah, but it would have like glare or something on it.
Oh,
they make a point. You never see anything but black in the pupils.
Oh,
of Jaws.
you mean like the nictating lenses that go?
Yeah, stuff like that, like little tiny detail with the eyes to make it more intimidating.
Listen, they already had enough issues with that shark. They didn't need to be doing the lens over the eyes thing.
Well,
like, holy shit, we can barely get this thing to work.
Forget the second set of eyelids. Get out of here.
True.
So Danny goes back to look for Mateo because he never comes back. And he doesn't find anything. And you get the really intense music like something's going to happen to Danny, and then nothing happens.
Yep.
Sarone.
Yeah, this is a patient snake.
Yes.
Very.
Well, in reality, when a snake eats, it takes a while before it gets to eat again. But I had to state at the beginning of this movie that they regurgitate so they can eat again. It's like, this makes no sense.
3 to 5 days. Go ahead.
Oh, that's the only logical reason for this thing to keep hunting them,
yeah,
right? Because like he would have ate somebody and then just fucked off for like 24 days.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? While it digested.
I looked it up. I think the average was like 3 to 5, depending on the size of the snake, size of the meal.
Yeah.
And no, you're good. I was just got bored and I was curious what it was. And then they will regurgitate, but that's when they need to escape. Like they'll throw up whatever they ate to either startle the enemy or make themselves lighter so they can, get away.
Yeah.
Which then when that happens later in the film, that kind of lines up.
It does. Yeah, it does. You're correct.
Also, they're not going to go after things they can't eat. Like their jaw only unhinges so much, and they can't even get around us because of the shoulders.
Yeah,
right.
Yep, that's true.
Well, right.
So Sarone shows them the ridiculously large snake skin. So
That's not what I thought it was. Sarone's like, let me show you this. This is my foreskin, and just rolls it out.
Oh no, that was 3 years ago.
I've kept it since my wrist.
My wrist.
This keeps growing. Like you guys
holy shit.
Oh god, like a fruit roll up. That's his penis.
But it's deadly poisonous. It's deadly poisonous.
Yes.
Well, right, yeah.
What flavor
Everything
do you think
is.
that would be?
Salted peanuts.
What flavor would it be?
Foot and
peanuts,
onion.
Exactly. Exactly what you think it tastes like. You let me know when you find out.
So
I use it for my
did he state how long this skin was? Was it like 25 feet? And they're like, oh, really?
Something
They can
like
get that big? And it's like, well, this was a while
Okay.
ago, so it's much bigger now.
Yeah, now
It's
it's
just one.
50 feet long.
Yeah.
He does it, I think,
That
twice in the movie too with the snake skin. He's like, whew, and this big long fucking thing flies out.
It's like a fucking party
Keeps it
popper.
rolled up.
And he just goes out and he just goes, yeah, Mateo's dead. They're like, wait,
Mateo,
what?
no, fuck him. Yeah,
And
we
she's
should go
like,
back
we
to
got-
Mateo, and he's like, no, I'm good.
Oh, what does he say? Oh, what does he say? He's like, maybe some other time.
Yeah.
He
He
ain't,
ain't-
dude.
He
You
ain't
need to
coming
go out
back.
Yeah. You need to go out there and look for him. Yeah, maybe some other time.
What a fucking.
I
But,
do appreciate though that Jennifer Lopez is like, yeah, no, we're gonna wait, and it's
Yep.
like, I'm kind of with John Voight, but sure, I wouldn't want to be left behind.
I would like to point out, like, even at this point in the movie, they obviously know something's going on and how eager motherfuckers are to get in the water. Like, nobody's like,
Yeah.
nah, dude. I'm like, no, we're just gonna go.
Yeah.
Well, Mateo's also the captain of the ship. Like, he's the only,
Well, that's true.
supposedly the only one who could drive this fucking thing too. So it's like, well, what do you mean he's gone? Who's gonna drive the ship?
And clearly Westridge is like a boat captain now. You're the
Yeah.
captain now.
Got this.
Look at me. I'm the captain now. Just pulling levers.
I got a couple of ringers in the crew here.
Oh,
Does it
So
work like those old ships where you push
Yeah.
the thing and
Yeah.
it goes?
it's like the Titan. What do you
But
watch
also
Titanic? You know the
Westridge,
thing
like-
that communicates
Yeah,
to the
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Westridge also waits like 18 hours to reveal that he could drive the fucking boat.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, by the way, I could drive it. After they sit there all fucking night.
Because he doesn't want to be bothered.
No,
he's
I
an
know,
asshole.
but
It's rich. He don't need a
he's
dog.
British.
Oh.
He can't be bothered.
This
No.
is also true. You're supposed to be waiting on me, hand and foot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not driving this dilapidated piece of shit.
It's very accurate.
Oh, my Lord.
Should have been a line in the movie.
So during the waiting period, Sarone prepares for his hunt and he stares at J-Lo as she sleeps. The look on his face is
He looks pompous as fuck, dude. I love this.
I can't even do the fucking face.
It's this creepy, tense scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jennifer Lopez is like doing like a vigil next to Eric Stoltz's bed, hoping he snaps out of it.
Yeah.
There's
It's okay,
John
baby.
Boyd
You're
from,
gonna
like,
be
the other
okay.
side.
John Boyd's just like, Mateo's still not back yet. And she just fucking slams the door in his face.
Yeah.
God,
This
he's so
is also
smart.
when Owen Wilson decides to dip his toes in the other side of the force, if you
Oh,
will.
well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get out of this, Sean. We're gonna get out of this. We're gonna get off this boat. We're gonna make a bunch of money and we're gonna go home.
Hey Denise, yeah, I'll fuck you in a few minutes. I gotta talk to this creepy guy we picked up first. Don't worry, I'll be down in a minute.
John Voight, let's make a deal.
We touched tips. We touched tips earlier, so we
Yeah,
have to
well,
have
yeah,
this
you're right.
conversation.
We had a
Exactly.
moment together.
Yes.
John,
Yeah.
me and you.
They're
Remember that?
connected.
I've gotten more action from him than I've gotten from you this whole trip.
Listen, Gary, I'm gonna start calling you Mateo from now on. You're my new Mateo. Everybody, he just calls everybody his secondhand man, always Mateo, regardless.
Owen Wilson's like, oh wow, yeah, I'm a tail, okay.
Okay, no, Mateo, you go over there and grab the rifle.
So Sarone,
We're gonna need another Mateo.
Sarone shoots a monkey the next morning, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah.
And this
Bait.
this was something John Voight wanted to keep after the shoot. So
Yeah.
he's still, and to
The
this day,
monkey?
according to
Still
reports,
got
yeah, he
it.
still owns this prop monkey.
Why am I not surprised without getting any deeper into that thought?
And then he also throws it at Jonathan Hyde, like right in his face.
Oh, God,
Yeah, he does.
Oh no, the
Later,
snake.
yeah.
does.
Oh, later, the
snake,
Anaconda.
the snake
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
yeah.
Snake
I'm
does,
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
fucked that up.
Just imagine, he did this character, and then he goes off to play like 4 presidents in like 4 movies in the next like 10 years. He's like, all right, next it's FDR in Pearl Harbor, and then we're going to play the president in Transformers.
God, make up for this.
Yeah. So Gary is explaining about, well, you know, why they should help Sarone hunt the Anaconda. They're going to try to capture it alive. It's going to they'll be paid $1 million for it. It's a big deal. Gary's all about it. And they're like, what the fuck?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. You can't turn that
We'll
down.
be the first people to shoot this snake on film. Like the biggest snake you've ever seen on film.
I was saying this to Joe before we started recording, and I was like, honestly, like, I wouldn't be opposed to trying to capture the snake, but when you got a gun pointed at me and saying we're doing this, well, okay, maybe I'm not on board anymore.
Nobody gives a fuck about Eric Stoltz. Or like,
well, that's the whole thing.
He's just there in the cabin, just
yeah.
Once in a while, opens his eyes.
What about Eric Stoltz? I'm like,
I'm surprised at this point. Like, no, I mean, Sarone didn't just take him out and just like roll him into the river. Like, all right, we don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
Like, cover's blown, guys.
So the night.
Fuck the spider monkey. We got an Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, that's right.
He's the bait now. So the night hunt commences, and we get the really eerie, another kind of reflection of Jaws in a way. You know, it's him. It's the
100%.
the slow, you know, the descent of the line, and it keeps creaking, and then they got something.
It's like a mix. It's like My Wife's Holiday roast, and when Quint's like sitting at the what do you call it, with the pole.
Yep. And so that he gets a bite, and I love his intense face. He's still got the scowl, but he's got his white eyes. Like, get the line, Gary! Get the line! Shine the light on Gary!
Blinded, Gary!
Westridge, get down here! Westridge, get down here! Just yelling.
What are I do to you, fair Spanish lady? Meanwhile, like, Gary's just like on the main boat, like nowhere near the light, so he's gonna like climb up there.
Yeah, right.
And Westridge is like, what the fuck? I don't want to be down here. As the snake just comes out of the water.
This fucking thing is screaming bloody murder. It's like,
I think if they took away the screaming, I think this thing would have been a lot scarier. The screaming was just a little too much.
It's always talking, and it's like, all right.
It's like the rappers talking to each other.
Shut up.
Make it more low key. Like this is a frightened noise.
It's like a silent killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I mean, to be
imagine
honest,
it comes up to you. Like, think about that for a second. Like a cat, it comes up to you, and then bites your fucking head off.
Yes.
I mean, don't cats do that anyways? They're assholes.
Yeah.
Well,
True fact.
we have 3 of them, so
Cats are dicks.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
They are.
Exactly.
So the snake is screeching the whole damn time. It breaks loose of the line. It then goes back under the water, and Westridge, when the line breaks, it like knocks Westridge over, and all of his medicine just spills all over the boat.
Oh no! We never come back to that.
My old man pills.
And as he's on his knees, the snake comes out, and he's like, "I got a surprise for you!" And he spits the snake out of his face. Like,
oh, he hits him with the spider monkey.
Why didn't he just go for Westridge at that point?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know. This snake's got a little character.
He was like, "I got him enough with the monkey to the face. I'm gonna go after someone else."
John Voight also mentions, he's like, they got their senses in their face. They saw Mateo, and he was warm-blooded. And it's like, well, that fucking monkey's been dead for hours.
Right?
Why is it going after that?
It's not very warm-blooded anymore.
Yeah, eat pits.
Well, I mean, exactly. Well, there's nothing about it. It's just floating in the water. I don't even know if
I mean, it is a very warm Owen Wilson.
And the Anaconda is a constrictor. Why the fuck would it eat something that's already dead?
Joe, don't overthink this fucking borderline B movie.
That's fair though. That is a fair point.
It's a B movie on an A movie budget.
Yeah.
So it then attacks Terry. It crashes through the window. Which why would a snake do this? Why would it smash through glass? It's like, what I want to do today.
Ask Sir Mix-a-Lot. You'll know. That's exactly why.
Go.
That's your fucking answer.
He's looking for those buns.
Dude, I want this.
You have buns, hun, or no?
I I want like a cut.
The snake sounds like fucking Kermit.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to do like a Frank Welker.
I just want to cut.
I kind of like that though. Like, you're right. It is stupid. Why is the snake doing that? And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're not wrong, but it's kind of intimidating. It's like, yeah, oh fuck.
Oh, it's scary for sure, but it's like looking at her, you know, like sizing her up and shit. I don't know.
I mean,
it does that a lot.
It's not the most ridiculous
Why didn't you
thing.
just eat her?
Yeah, it's not the most ridiculous thing that these snakes do in this movie.
No,
I mean, everything they do in this movie is pretty fucking ridiculous. So he shoots the trank dart into its mouth, which then doesn't ever come back again. Like, it doesn't show an aftermath to that.
Nah.
It falls out of its mouth.
But that doesn't make sense. That's not what a trank does. It doesn't have to stay in the skin forever. It just gets shot, the shit goes in you, and then the dart can just fall out. Because even later, when Sarone gets shot, they're like, oh no, the dart fell out.
I know, yeah. These are the worst trank darts on the planet.
Okay. Who bought these?
Great value brand.
No, it's like they did the research and they only read the first page of everything.
Like I said, he threw the book on him. Like, fuck that.
But it's everything. Trank darts. Oh, yeah. We're just gonna make it up.
They went out of their way to show the trank glass bottle, and it says reptile tranquilizer.
Oh, him like sucking it into
yeah. It's like, what the fuck was the point of that? You might as well just put Anaconda juice on it.
Yeah, cow on it. Honestly.
It's just like the gun that Owen uses in Jurassic World. It literally states that it can kill fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like,
you mean if you shot yourself in the foot?
Yeah.
You'd be dead before you know you had an accident.
No, Eddie Carr. Yeah, it's god, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Eddie
the venomous from Conus Papyrus, dude. I know. I love that fucking movie.
Yeah.
One of the worst deaths in that entire franchise.
It's so good.
For a character that did not deserve it.
No.
Him
and Zara from Jurassic World gets tossed by all the pteranodons.
Well, that might actually take.
That's awful. So Denise gets knocked into the river, and so Gary jumps in after her. And it's one of those moments where she gets back up, and then Gary just gets back up, but then poor Gary gets wrapped up real good. And
just desserts.
He gets constricted, gets brought in. I just love the stillness, and the snake is still too, and they just flop back into the river.
Yeah.
I will say though, that is one of the times I felt like the CG didn't hold up as well. Like him falling in the water looked good, but the actual kill shot, again, maybe at 97 I wouldn't have cared, but watching this in 4K on Netflix, it doesn't hold up as well. It doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look great either. It doesn't hold up.
I wonder if the same team, I think ILM worked on Deep Rising, which comes out a year later, but I feel like maybe they recycled some of it because that hand. Wait, it's not a hand; it's his face, right? You see his face in its belly.
Yeah.
Oh, when it goes underwater, that actually looked horrible. But I'm talking about when it wraps around.
I'm just saying.
I forgot. I think
it's just the fast.
That looks horrible.
The CG.
Yeah, it's like the fast motion of the snake going around him just didn't seem very smooth.
Yeah.
Well, they also slow down a lot of the parts when it wraps up, and it's
I don't.
Looks like
they make them so fast. What?
Yeah. I tell you one shot I did like is after he gets him, and it's panned away from the boat. It's where the snake comes a little bit out of the water. You see his head come up a little bit before he gets eaten. Yeah. It's called practical. And look, I thought that was like, oh, sounds aside.
You're right, that was a cool shot. When he sighs, you know he's not dead yet.
Oh, he comes up and goes, like all the air.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Somebody's going to do a clip of that and just put that over it, like when he pops out of the water.
Wow. But I like that shot because it didn't need to be there. They could have left it out. But it was a neat little practical.
I do want to give props to the actress who plays Denise because her emotions are pretty like it feels like some of the truest emotions you would imagine someone feeling after witnessing what she witnessed.
Yeah.
Where I feel other movies would have been like, I'm sad for 3 seconds and then move on to next scene. Who was that guy again?
You know I just watched The Ruins for the first time in a long time. And Yeah, the actress in that is like really fucking good. I forget the blonde. I forget what her name is.
I haven't seen the movie.
Not the chick from Stepmom. The other one.
Chick from
narrows
Stepmom.
it down.
I don't
There's only
barely.
two.
I just remembered something about plants making phone calls. I just.
It's good, man. It's
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Anything that's got a killer plant that isn't
That's not the
Audrey.
Happening.
or The Happening.
Fuck the Happening.
I like killer plant movies. Like they're very rare. You
Yeah.
don't see them as often. Like Day of the Triffids or Night of the Triffids, whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Day of the
Old school
Trip is
shit.
great.
Yeah, old school shit.
So R.I.P. to Gary. Denise is really sad.
Fuck
Sorry,
Gary.
Mateo. Sorry, Mateo. Too.
Yeah.
We need
yeah.
another Mateo.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
Gary
Gary kind of sucked. So Sarone doesn't give a shit about anything, about anyone. He just wants his snake. So he's giving orders.
Mhm.
He's slapping Westridge around.
Right, there you go. There's that scene.
You presume. You presume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Westridge
Bring my
is now-
bags upstairs.
Westridge is now Mateo 3.
Oh yes.
That's all it
Against his
takes.
own
Gonna
will,
need a new
yeah.
Mateo.
That's right.
And this is when you get Terry gets the idea she's going to pretend to seduce Sarone to get close to him, to then they can get some shots on him. And it's like, for one, why would he fall for this?
Yeah. Hey man, he's been out there a long time. He's tired of like
He hasn't had a woman
fucking fish or whatever he's doing out
in a
there.
very long
Touched
time.
test with Owen Wilson.
Yeah,
They
and-
to go through with that.
Yeah, he can't go
Keep
back to
dreaming
that.
about Owen.
I mean, he even says he's like, I haven't had a woman for a very long time.
I
Yeah,
feel
like-
like there was a word left out of that. It's like I haven't had a woman in a very long time.
Wow, yeah. Again, those ass cheeks you guys keep talking about. The clapping as she walks. He couldn't help himself.
Yeah.
Duck it all out.
The sweaty jungle, by the way.
That's what he
Dude.
did with buns.
I will have to say I hate this plot, this ploy in films. I hate
Yeah,
the woman
it-
reluctantly seducing people to get. I hate
Me
that.
too.
Well, I know from your standpoint for sure, but I hate it. I just remember because we watched
Where's
Aladdin
the
recently, and
rifle?
that happens in Aladdin, and I'm like, this is so dumb. Anyway, go ahead.
He could have just shot him, right? Like
Yeah.
it
Could have.
It's that catch-22 of like, do we kill this motherfucker or like, and try to fend for ourselves, or like wait for him to like maybe we'll catch the snake and then we'll get out of the jungle because they don't know where the hell they're going.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like, not to keep saying because it's a movie or it's plot or whatever, but it is one of those things where it's like she thinks this is gonna work. Maybe it's a dumb plan, but like clearly he falls for it. Maybe not to the extent that they thought he would.
Well, he gets a little overzealous. Probably,
Yeah, but I mean, listen, like I'm not crazy about this trope either. I don't hate it per se. I'm a big hater of the random love story introduced into a film. It's not quite that.
Oh God.
And listen, it's only like a 2-minute scene, so it comes and goes quickly at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, if all of a sudden they're on the bed making out, then you've lost me.
Yeah.
I'm really into this role. I don't know what to say. I really gotta convince this guy.
And
Where the hell is what's his face with the golf club?
Who?
Yeah.
But Danny here has the right idea. Throw his ass in the river. That doesn't work later, but it was a good idea now. But I get what you're saying because I'm like, I don't know where to go.
Which again confused me. How did his ass not drown? But whatever.
Well, this is also true, especially if he was knocked out, and it's like, well, first of all, we're gonna bash his fucking brains in, and then kick him into the river. Don't
Because
don't
what
just
is
chance
it? Ice Cube breaks in and he's like, all right, none of this bullshit, and then Westridge hits him with the fucking golf club through the window. Is that what it is?
Twice.
I think?
Yeah.
With an iron.
Oh yeah. He's got a big gash in the back of his head.
Like,
Yeah, he
that man
does.
is severely concussed, probably brain bleeding, gonna die.
I think that
Roll
was
in
like
the river. Give him a
driving
good
club.
infection.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's
He's
gonna
got
get a nice infection.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
Westridge is talking about pulling leeches off his Johnson at one point, so there's definitely something living in there.
Yeah, maybe one of those fucking fishes, man.
That's
Maybe
the
that
thing.
possessed his body.
Yeah, but that's the
Amazon's
thing. It's like
scary
Ice
as fuck,
Cube.
dude.
Zombie fish.
Ice Cube is the most logical person here. Like you guys were stating before. Like he's like, throw him in the river. I would have been like, I second this. And she's like, well,
Yeah.
we've had enough of that already. And it's like, well, fuck you.
Well, one more isn't going to hurt.
Do you
Roll his
understand
ass
what
in
he's
there.
done?
You are literally in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Take the gun out, shoot him in the head, and kick his body off the side. Goodbye. No one will ever miss you.
Well, they tie him up, yeah.
Yeah, they tie him up.
Yeah, but like, is that the thing of like they're gonna force him to be like, all right, where do we go? Which way do we go, Mister?
Yeah.
In theory, sure, they're gonna
what
turn
I'm-
him into the cops when they get out of there. Maybe, I don't know.
It's
He has caused the
dumb.
deaths of several people at this
Yeah.
point, as far as they know.
And
Fuck that.
he then kills another. He kills more people.
Anything?
You'd have
Yeah,
Jungle
Well,
Justice.
yeah, we can't have the snake do all the work.
Jungle Justice.
That's a movie. Coin that shit. I'm gonna look it up. It has to be.
Yeah.
It's the fucking Green Inferno, dude.
Yep. Well, dude, I know it's the snake is the main thing, but like, there's so much shit that would kill you in that fucking river.
Oh yeah.
The snakes would be the
Big
least
time.
of my concern.
I mean, this movie's almost like, I mean, it's not totally comparable, but kind of like a zombie movie in a sense, where it's like, on a very base level, where it's like, yeah, like the snake is obviously like a problem and is the antagonist, but really it's John Voight.
Yeah.
He's the main problem.
Yeah,
like without him,
he's
none of
the
this shit goes
monster.
bad.
Yeah.
It's not a movie.
I
It
agree.
is it's a short movie and a TV series. But Jungle Justice is a real fucking term.
Is it a gorilla like dressed in like army fatigues, like arresting people?
It's like, no, they refer to jungle justice or mob justice or lynching as a form of public extrajudiciation killing that can be found in
okay.
Nigeria and Cameroon.
Oh, geez.
I don't mean, by the
Okay.
way, if I said that it was like insensitive, it was just a joke. I had no
Oh,
fucking clue.
I
Oh
So-
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So Sarone gets tied up, and he's got a
Every day.
big old welt on the back. He's got like, I mean, his skull is bashed in. Yeah, this man is perfectly fine. He's just like, he's, and then he confesses everything. He confesses about the wasp, about what his intentions were the
Right.
whole time. It's all stupid. This man
He took
should
the
just
lost-
be fucking
That's a-
dead.
You took the last
That's a
cosmic
gun to the head
brownie.
moment, right?
You son of a bitch!
Yeah.
This shit's expensive
kill this
now.
fuck.
so they
Spite.
what happens? The boat gets like stuck, right? So they have to like tie
Yeah.
off on a bunch of different things. So they all go out there, and Denise is still there, and she's still grieving, and she wants to kill Sarone, and she gets in his face, and pretty much he goes, "You never look into the eye of somebody you're about to kill." And that's when she like turns. She's like about to do it, but then she's like, "Oh!" And then this man just got his fucking head smashed in, but yet he is the most athletic man in the world. While in his sitting position, he leaps up into the air, puts his legs around her neck, and rips her to the ground. And I'm like, well, I can't even do that. I'm also out of shape, but but what the fuck is that?
He watched some Mortal Kombat, is what he watched.
Yeah, exactly.
Your goose is cooked, baby bird.
Yeah.
that should have been the line, dude. Please.
Well, he snaps her fucking neck.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
gone.
She gets Sonya bladed.
Yep. Oh, by the
Meanwhile,
way,
he's just like,
go ahead.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was going to say they brought back the rusty kitchen knife because that's what.
Oh
she
yeah,
had in her
right.
hand.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna kill him with originally.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And he's cutting himself loose, and I guess just all this commotion of them going in the water and this woman getting killed and kicked into the water. The snake's like, dinner time, and then just like appears out of
Yeah.
nowhere, and it's like moving around like a motherfucker.
Oh, my
fast as
God.
hell.
So it goes after Westridge, and Westridge, they're like, climb up the cliff, Westridge. And it's like, why? So he climbs up to the waterfall, and this motherfucking snake climbs that tree so fast.
Yep.
And the snake is, scanning the waterfall, and it pokes its head through like the T-Rex in the Lost World
Yeah.
in the waterfall scene.
The same thing.
And what's just funny, because the guy in that movie has a snake crawl down his shirt, which then scares him, and then he runs
yeah.
into the mouth of the
Fucking idiot.
T-Rex. What a dumbass. Yeah. I know
like a
all
famous
about
botanist
dinosaurs.
or paleontologist,
That's
right?
the joke.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
meta joke
Yeah.
in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Burke in that, and I think his real name is Balker, something like that. The real
okay.
scientist.
Yeah.
William Backer.
Yep.
He said the dinosaurs died by a bunch of diamond dust. That guy.
But I
Shut up, Tim.
You're right. I love how he's up there. He's almost safe, like Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez. They get back in the boat, and then like at the last second, the fucking tree starts to break and fall down, and so he just jumps like he's gonna beat this snake.
It's a pretty cool scene. I mean, it looks like shit, but I like
It's a
I
cool
like the
kill.
idea of
Yeah.
just jumping off this fucking waterfall and the snake just like falling down and scooping him up.
Yeah.
In the mouth.
Bites the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was
so
actually kind of hoping he'd live because he kind of had like that
Oh.
redemption arc where he was teaching Ice Cube's character to like drive the boat, and they were kind of
Yeah,
getting
he's a-
along
he
and
was a good
stuff.
guy.
Like, oh, he's
Yeah.
coming
Oh,
around.
yeah, he had a redemption.
Side note, I meant to
arc
bring
there.
this up earlier. I just remembered it.
I'm hip.
When I was a kid, because I hadn't watched this like in 10 years, I thought for the life of me that was Tim Curry the whole time.
He
I don't
was
know
actually
why.
That's
he was
Congo.
actually asked to play this character,
Yep.
and he turned it down.
Oh,
No shit.
okay.
Yeah,
And he's like, oh, I guess I'll go to Congo and
Wow.
That or Fern Golly.
a Russian accent.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, just love Tim Curry. I don't know. I always thought that was him.
Yeah, it's funny
Tim
though.
Curry's great.
Tim
Yeah, me
Curry's
too.
awesome.
And that's kind of cool to hear. He was in the running at one point.
Yeah.
That's
So
kinda
Tim
crazy.
Curry and Chris Farley.
Oh,
Yes.
right. Well, what a movie.
I had
We
to
lost
I
out.
had to look up like there was a bunch of other. There was like 3 or 4 pretty big actors who were up for Sarone, and they're all like
Jean
pretty much like-
Reno.
yes, that
Sean
was one of them.
Connery.
Oh,
Sean
Tommy Lee
Connery,
Jones.
Tommy
That
Lee
would've been
Jones,
cool.
John Malkovich, and Jean Reno.
Sean Connery.
God, imagine
Sean
Malkovich
Connery.
doing this accent.
None of these guys
Just don't
are
have to do the.
Latino. What are you talking about?
Just make
I
Danny
mean, I would
Trejo the
say-
villain.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been great.
He
I
wasn't
think it would-
big
they would
enough
fit
though.
well.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
big enough.
I'm
Jill-
mad you just said that because that is such a good
Harrison
idea.
Ford. come on.
Gillian Anderson auditioned to play Denise.
I saw. Yeah, I did read
Oh.
that.
Yeah, I can get with that.
I mean, the character's fine in this. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
no,
Jillian
she did-
really would have added a lot to
No.
it.
I mean, her emotional
We would have actually
state
heard her
after Gary
speak in
dies.
her native
Yep.
accent.
Yeah, but being the love of Owen Wilson in
Yeah,
this,
that
like,
one-
just,
that just
I,
doesn't
no
go
wonder
together.
she turned it down.
Do not want.
It's funny because a movie came out a few months ago, where it was J-Lo and Owen Wilson like fall in love and shit. I can't remember what that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So
It's like
I
their
thought it
first
was
movie
life.
they've done together since Anaconda.
Remember when we were on Anaconda together?
25 years
I
later.
try to
who
forget.
knew?
Don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah, probably.
It's like I try to forget.
Shut
about
up,
that
Owen.
movie.
I made
So-
$100,000.
I came back from the dead, and now we're gonna get married.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the name of the movie, "Marry Me" or something.
Oh.
That sounds
yes,
right. I think it's like a
Jesus.
Netflix movie
Yeah,
or something.
terrible. So the Westridge jumps out of the waterfall, and the snake does something that snakes can't do. Just grabs him in midair,
That's a lot of
just
things.
woof, and then like wraps him up. That's a lot of weight for the snake to support. Like this
Yeah.
thing weighs a lot.
Yeah.
And this is the
Well, we
warrior
find out that
snake
it's too
you find
much
out.
because the tree
Yeah,
breaks.
the
Yeah,
tree,
it
the
is
tree
cool, though.
breaks, falls down. And something that I didn't notice, I know that they talk about it in the opening crawl there, where it states about the warrior and queen anacondas and stuff, but I never realized that the green one was the warrior snake until Sarone gets mad when Terry shoots it. And he's like, "You killed my warrior snake!" Because the black and red one that we see later is the queen.
Mm.
Like these are the
Yeah, and I
these
was
are the
actually
snakes that they get worshipped.
Right. And I was talking about this to Joe earlier. I didn't realize until this viewing that there was 2 different snakes. I always thought there was one.
There's two. There's two.
And I was so confused for the longest time. Like they like you just said, they shoot it eventually, and then it's
Yeah.
like, how the fuck is this thing still alive? Its eyeball fell out.
Yeah,
Like, there's
right.
no and then I'm watching it today
Yeah.
or yesterday, and I'm like, oh wait, those are 2 different color snakes.
Yeah,
Okay,
completely
I guess
different
this is
colors,
the
yeah.
female, the male. Okay, that lines up.
And there's significant weight difference with the animatronics too.
Yeah.
Queen is 5,000
Oh
pounds,
yeah.
and Warrior is only 1,500.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That's
is a huge
wild.
It's
difference.
gigantic. It's way bigger.
That sounds about right, but I wasn't even thinking about that. Holy shit.
So yeah, so this is Denise. The snake grabs Denise's body in the water just to scare Terry, like, ah! And then
Oh yeah, because they're
Danny-
trying to get away.
yeah, Danny gets wrapped up by the snake, and Terry ends up shooting perfect shots too. She doesn't even aim; she just literally points in the same
Yeah.
direction, and gets 2 perfect headshots. I was like,
Was it
wow,
3?
damn. Something like
Right,
it was.
the same
They were all in the same spot, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hella grouping.
That's also like a total trailer scene, just to be like, oh fuck, Ice Cube, look out! There's a snake.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and
And
you
you're
notice
like, oh,
that's
wait, there's like still like 30 minutes left of this movie.
oh right. In Westridge, you like realize he didn't even die probably by the snake. He was like bonked his head on a rock or something, and the snake just left his body. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I kept thinking he lived, and I was like, this sucks.
So Sarone, he's all pissed off because Terry killed the snake. And as he's like about to shoot her, freaking Kale comes out of his thing with his bloody ass neck, or this bandaged ass neck, and he's like, stabs the dart in the back of his back. And I like how when Sarone gets stabbed, it was literally like he was shot. Just, and then gets pushed into the river. And then the first thing Danny goes is, the dart fell out. Like, who fucking cares if the dart fell out? That's not how it works.
That shit does not work when you reply to a human. Like, you can be like, is that a fucking snake? I don't know. Maybe we misdiagnosed or miscalculated how much dose that thing needed. But a fucking human with a full reptile tranquilizer dart in his back, you're going down.
Oh,
If you're in the water, you're drowning.
Yeah, you're done.
So yeah, so Sarone,
food.
Yeah. So of course, and then Sarone grabbed Cal's neck, so it starts bleeding again. So she's got to put, J-Lo's got to put him back to bed. I'm like, it's okay, baby. You're like, it's such a weird dynamic between these two.
That pen back in there.
Yeah,
Close up.
Fuck, dude. Oh, gross. Why is it squirting like that?
And they're all like, it's over. Let's get out of here. Yeah, we don't know where the fuck we are right now.
Exactly.
Credits roll. Wait a minute.
Waterfall.
Yeah. So they go a little bit farther down the river, and that's where they see the abandoned, like, what is
like
it?
a lumber mill.
Factory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they got like the big
I'm really
claws for
right.
like wood. It's like a lumber mill.
Yeah.
So like, oh, well, they got to have fuel here. So they go in there. They're looking around, and somehow Sarone beat them there and knocks them both out. And did he hit them both at the same time with one?
One strike.
One strike just knocks them both out. Like,
I got like the Three Stooges.
holy shit.
It's like a robot.
Bonk.
Oh, man. So when they wake up, they are tied. Terry and Danny are tied together, and Sarone has got another monkey. Or it's the same monkey. Who fucking knows? He's been keeping it in his pocket the whole time. But he's got it bleeding into a bucket.
I returned it to him.
Listen, this tiny ass monkey has produced a lot of blood. That thing is filled up pretty much.
Oh,
that monkey's only probably a few feet.
Yeah.
It's a spider monkey. They're not that big.
How much blood is in that little monkey? It's a lot. It's like a gallon of blood.
Keeps like 2 or 3 in his
always
back
makes me-
pocket just in case.
Oh yeah, well yeah, clearly.
And
For whatever reason, because like he like douses them in this shit, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Wow, monkey blood."
Yeah.
And every time he says that, it like reminds me of the Kids in the Hall bit in the brain. What is it? Brain Candy, the movie.
Oh yeah.
Where the guy's driving the cab, and there's a whole bit where he's like, "Yeah, monkey come," and he's like, they put the monkeys in the room together, and they jerk off, and monkey come. I don't know. For whatever reason, that's where my mind goes when he says that.
That's
I'm
fair.
putting it together.
blood come, they're the same thing. So
He doused him in monkey juice.
yeah, I feel like there could have been a better line when he wakes them up, but instead he just goes, "It's time to wake up," and you're like,
Yeah.
anything else? That was such a terrible line delivery.
Wakey, wakey,
Wait,
eggs
yeah.
and bacon.
Wakey, wakey,
Yeah,
baby birds.
Oh,
that's right.
As he douses
Exactly.
them in
You think
monkey
John
blood.
Boyd just forgot the line?
Wake
Yeah.
up, little
Yeah.
Susie.
It's just
He's
80
like,
yards.
Get up.
So
Okay.
The paycheck's running out. Hurry this shit up.
Yeah.
he goes like into a different area, and that's when you get the first person perspective from the snake coming from the roof, and then you get to see the full shot of this new snake just dangling, this massive 5,000-pound snake just dangling from a fucking roof.
This is safe. This is
Big
structurally sound.
I appreciate that they don't do any like funky bullshit with the POV.
Yeah.
It's literally just like a camera.
Yeah.
Oh, like weird filters or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Or where you see like the tip of the nose or something. Like I've always when
Yeah,
you
or
can
it's like
see
all
part of
yellow
the
and
face.
distorted and shit. Yeah.
There's
Ooh, this
one
is
part-
snake vision.
There's one part of
Yeah,
this bothered me where we talked about it was like halfway through the movie when it did POV snake, but for some odd reason the snake's upside down,
Yeah.
and you're like,
when they're
like what way am I looking here? It just fucking threw me off so much when I was watching
you
it.
see your trees, and it's like, okay,
Why is the water?
Where are we going with this?
It's just confusing to me. I don't know.
Right, like
might
almost
be like
they're-
weights hanging or something.
Yeah.
Why would it
They're
be
trying to
upside down? What is it
discombobulate
gaining?
you.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Hanging from a tree.
The
Waiting,
director was like,
stalking
"Hey,
its
this
prey.
will look cool. It'll be like it's hanging upside down."
Yeah.
Sure, director.
Make sure you
Just
take
hurry
your
up. We need to wrap-
Dramamine before you see this film.
So the snake wraps itself around Danny and Terry with its tail. It literally grabs with its tail and says, "Come over here," like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat.
Get over here.
Over here, yeah.
Snap.
God.
Just to be that guy. Snakes can't do that either.
Now this snake is voiced by Ed Boon.
Oh,
No,
well,
yeah,
the
oh,
obvious.
yeah, absolutely.
Was he the one who did that voice?
Oh,
In
yeah,
Mortal
yeah,
Kombat?
yeah, he's got a
Oh.
Guinness Book World of Records for it. I don't know if he still does, but yeah,
What, for how many times he said it?
just for voicing the character for the longest.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's unfair.
As of I think
Oh.
9.
Is it just in consecutive or is it length of time? Do you have any idea?
It might be length of time, but I'm really not certain. He's in the book. It's either or. Put it that way.
Okay, I was gonna say because the one lady's been doing Goku since like the the early '80s or late.
Well,
80s
I mean
or whatever.
specifically in video games, but you're
Oh, in
right.
video
yeah.
game. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the snake wraps itself around Terry and Danny, and they're getting squeezed. And that's when Sarone comes out and he drops he pulls up the net, and then the snake starts to freak the fuck out. Now listen, he didn't need to do this because the snake was preoccupied with Danny and Terry. He could have just while it's distracted, he fucking shoots it. Instead, he does the net, which then turns it onto him.
And why would
Get
you
her.
think this would work? Like at what point in time is like, my tiny fishing net. Well, get him. Like,
And like he does the thing before the snake shows up again, where he's like rolling it out to show him how long the skin is.
Yeah.
This one's even bigger.
So it's like he's trying to be. He's portrayed throughout this whole film like he's an expert, but at every turn he fucking sucks at what he's doing.
He's just making like novice fucking mistakes.
Like was Danny Trejo really like the guy that knew what was up, and like was he the real Mateo? Was
could be.
John Voight?
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
possible.
But
We
you're right.
also-
Yeah, like he throws a net on him, and the
Yeah.
snake's like, "All right, I'm looking over here." Bloop.
Oh, nope. It's all
Yeah.
on you now.
Pretty
we
great
also-
though.
we also get to see where he picks up the bones. He's like, "Oh, human bones,
Yeah.
dust.
That's what happens. They turn
This
to
is what
ash.
happens. They
That's
turn
how
to
that
ash."
works.
And they're like, "Okay, I don't.
Okay.
That's, all right, dude."
That's some pretty cold shit to say to somebody, though.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
right.
gonna be you, baby birds.
Literally, though. Yeah.
So the snake turns on him. The net falls. He's like, "Fuck!" He goes over to the nearest ladder. He tries to climb the ladder. I actually like this scene
I do like this.
where
scene,
he's
too.
climbing up the ladder and it wraps itself
Really cool.
around and bites him in the shoulder, and he's
Yeah.
just like, "Ah!" and it's
Yeah.
convulsing as he's falling.
I think it moves a little too fast, but
Yeah,
hey, I'm
yeah.
nitpicking at that point. It looks cool.
So
I think
yeah,
it looks better when it moves fast than when it moves slow.
when they do the slow mo,
Because I think like all of those scenes are like intentionally slowed down for the movie.
Oh, okay.
I think they were made to be sped up like to go faster. If that makes
Granted,
sense.
I was also reading. I know this movie's very scientifically accurate. We've already established
yes,
that.
clearly.
But that Anaconda they're very fast on water, but when they're on land, they're slow as molasses.
Because they're super heavy.
Yeah.
That's why they spend most of their time in water.
Anyway, well, clearly not in this film. These are
No.
super fucking anacondas
Yeah.
or something.
Super
There's
con-
radioactive
Well,
waste
you
in this
find out in
facility.
the second
Yeah.
movie that they eat this fucking flower that makes them huge or some shit.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
I've seen that movie once, and I was
Me
like,
too,
I'm
one
done.
time.
David Hasselhoff
The
was in
blood
is in a
orchid.
sequel, and I was like, I'm not about this.
There's
He does a
there's three
thing.
of them.
Is there? I thought there was
And then
like
there's
3
Lake
or
Placid,
Lake Placid versus
there's Lake
Anaconda.
Placid versus Anacondas.
I wish he sings. That would make me want to put the movie on as soon as it's recording.
Oh my
I'd be
gosh.
like, Hasselhoff is in it and he sings?
Have you ever heard him
Sings to make you
sing?
sleep.
It's horrible. I'm kind of
That's
goofing on it.
I mean,
so
yeah.
terrible.
I'd still watch it.
He's big in Germany for a reason.
Yeah.
It's him and
SpongeBob movie.
it's who you listening to over in Germany? It's David Hasselhoff and Rammstein. Like, there's
That's
your-
it. That's what all it has to be.
Dude, Haas.
Niche.
So he gets wrapped up. He falls down. He escapes, but then he gets wrapped up again. I really like how this looks where the snake grabs him and he does like a weird flip around. Like he grabs his body and he picks him up off the ground, but he does a weird flip and then squeezes him.
So I thought of something in this scene because it's after he falls from the ladder and he starts running. I think it's Danny with gets his foot around the rope and then pulls it. And that thing comes up. He's like, "No, this net!" And I always think of Kung Pao, the tiny net. Throws at him like, "Oh, your tiny net!" Like, it's what I think of. Like, just go around it. And he's like, "Oh, I'm entangled."
Yeah, his
Damn
face.
you, Spider-Man!
It's like
I do love it here though. Yeah, exactly, but I love it here though because it is like at the last second possible, so he doesn't even have a chance to get away. And it's like, he probably shouldn't be grabbing onto it, yelling when the snake's right behind him. But I like that. I like that Ice Cube's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah,
he got one
you.
last hurrah in.
So he gets wrapped up. He gets squeezed real tight. You get to see the bones in his face start to crack and pop.
Yeah. Well, I love how he literally becomes the little speech that he does earlier in the film. He's like, "You're alive just long enough to hear all your bones break and then all your vessels and your blood vessels pop."
Yeah.
And he does, and it's pretty great.
Yep.
And you realize this movie is a gateway to a vor fetish, and you're like, "Oh, crap."
I love that shot
It's
though, man.
fucking
That is
cool.
like one of
It
the
is a good
coolest shots
shot
in the movie.
because he gets the worst death, which is rightfully deserved. But
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
Sure.
Yeah. So
It's so creepy too, man.
Yeah.
When he gets put in the mouth, yeah.
So he gets swallowed, and then the snake's like, "Well, I'm still very active, so I'm gonna go chase the rest of you." And he chases
Even though
Terry.
he curled up somewhere.
Yeah, he goes to chases Terry around, and he's like, "You know what? That fat ass probably tastes real good." And so he goes,
Oh, yeah.
and just throws up John Voight, which then he drops to his knees and winks before his fucking steaming body falls to the ground.
I'm like, did that really just happen?
Oh,
That's one thing with this movie. You gotta give it. It knew what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's actually, to be fair, this movie plays itself super straight for most
Up
of this
until
film.
this is like the one that you're like, all right, come on.
I mean, it is tongue in cheek, but like, it's not necessarily like if you look at Lake Placid, like that has intentional comedy bits like running throughout the entire thing. This is very much played as a drama.
No, yeah.
Yeah, man, he looks like fucking chewed up meatloaf, dude, and this thing winks.
And like to be fair, that is one of the scenes that people, when they bring this movie up, always talk about is him winking when he's.
I
mean, when you type in Anaconda movie on the GIF on Twitter, that's the only thing that pops up for this.
That's what I said.
Movie.
That's what I said.
He looks like Helga Pataki's bubblegum Arnold that she keeps in her closet.
Oh, so they need to escape the Anaconda. So what do? Danny tells her to climb up the smokestack there, and she climbs up it. And he's like, I'm gonna set him on fire. I'm gonna blow it up. So he rolls a bunch of fuel. He's got the fire hoses he throws over there. He freaking stabs the snake with a freaking pickaxe.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Like
Like
the
tail,
snake's
right?
not like I should turn around and do
Yeah,
something
the snake does nothing about it. He's like, I can get out of this. It's fine.
Yeah.
What is that stopping me? Yeah.
And like bites it out of itself.
And and then when she gets to the top, right after Danny lights it, she gets to the top, but she can't get out. And that's just a clear. I just like how Danny goes, push it from the fucking hinges, idiot. And she's like, okay. And then it actually opens.
That's some false tension there for sure.
I like this shot.
Well, he has to. This is the climax.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
the
this-
second climax.
all this is happening, and the snake's like up there fighting her. Its tail's pinned, and she's like, I can't get out. And Dave's just like, hit the hinges. He's like standing right next to the fucking snake on the ground. Like, why are you just standing there? I know you're telling her, but like the snake could come back and get you. Nonchalant.
Well, because then it actually does break free, and he's got to like repin it before it grabs her.
Which when he grabs, it was a weird thing to use, but she finally escapes. She like grabs onto something, which then hangs her down the side of the smokestack, and she's pretty high up. And she's like, I can't jump. Or she's like, you got to jump. I can't. Well, you're going to fucking die then, because this thing's going to blow up and you're going to die with it. So
you saw what happened to him when he jumped off the waterfall.
Yeah. So she jumps. It blows up. I actually like this shot where the snake's on fire, just like wiggling in the fucking air.
Yeah. Screaming, by the way.
This is where Ed... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, nothing. It's just screaming because it's on fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is where we can get another. Somebody just pops up and yells "Toasty," so we can make another Mortal Kombat reference.
Toasty! Yeah.
Like I did.
Yeah, you did. You totally did that.
It's a really cool shot though of the Anaconda on fire, the animatronic going through the water and like going under.
Yeah.
And she gets, she's having a hard time getting on the dock. She finally gets on the dock and she's like, look at it. As it's like, fuck you people. It like goes under the water. Like, because if you think about it, like, the snakes are being portrayed as bad guys, but like they're just living their lives. Like they're just chilling here. And these people are just like, yeah, fuck these snakes.
Yeah.
It's not the snake from Spasms, right? Like that's like an actual like demon devil thing. It's just a giant snake living in the Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was living in its house, and these motherfuckers rolled up and started killing them.
They blew it up with dynamite and all this shit.
It's got its babies in there.
Yeah, this is true.
We got to kill it. Yet we were mad that Sarone wanted to hunt it. Whatever.
Right?
Question mark.
And then
and start a potential forest fire.
Yeah. Goes down like the fucking animatronic in the Jaws ride down into the water.
R.I.P. Jaws ride.
So good.
Bring it back.
I got to ride that at night for how they did like the Halloween thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And they open up the park at night for Halloween time. Yeah.
I've ridden it. Not the last time I went to Universal because it was gone, but the time before, I think I was like 12. And I rode it like 4 times in a row. I was like,
oh, that's so awesome.
I mean, it wasn't the most like entertaining ride compared to others, but like it's just I mean, I'm a huge Jaws fan. I mean, I had to ride it that many times.
It's so good. You always got to get the back left of the boat because that shark always comes up right there.
Yep.
Not anymore, but you used to. No. Anyway.
So the snake then makes its final appearance like, I'm not dead yet, just keep me alive. And Danny's like, nah, pickaxe to the head. Oh no, it was an axe.
He's playing it right in its forehead.
Oh my God. And then it makes one final scream as it falls into the water.
Throes of death.
I was going to say you get your final patented jump scare, your last one for the road.
It's all burnt and shit.
It sounds like the snake's deflating as it's dying. Like,
Unlike in Jaws 2, where it's lit on fire and then survives another hour.
This is true.
Yeah, it's true.
He was just trying to help the lady on the boat, okay?
Yeah.
He was like, ma'am.
Like, guys.
She's over there. Your friend's over there. I'm trying to show you where she is. And she's like, pouring gasoline all over myself.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Brody, put down the electrical line. It's dangerous. I'll take it.
I have the novelization for Jaws too. I really need to read it.
Oh my God, it's the same for this movie. The snake pops its head out. It's like, hey guys, can you just leave? And
yeah, don't run on this dock. It's hazardous. It's not in code anymore.
Oh Lord. So that's it. I mean, it's over type deal. Did they get more fuel? I don't know because did they use it all to blow up the whole place?
Yeah, they get more. I don't know.
And do they know? And for somehow they were able to like get back into the open water. The way this movie ends is like,
them.
That's right. Oh yeah, right. They're like, oh, it's the Shirashama, and and this is when Kale comes back. He's like, I make an appearance at the end.
Hello, thank you for watching our movie.
I'm still in this movie.
I may never speak again.
Here's the
Yes.
duties. Yeah.
And that's it. That's the end of the movie. Very kind of just like
Credit
everything
show.
happens, end.
I have
It all
closing.
worked out. We killed those snakes, got our footage of the lost tribe.
Almost everyone
We're
died.
going
Okay.
home.
Yep. All
Lost
my
all of our
friends are
crew
dead
but 3
except for
people.
Danny. Danny's here, and my lover's here too.
I
I'm
probably
good.
died. I probably died of tetanus because I got stabbed in the leg with a knife. And swam in the
Do you think
water,
they
so we
make
get to see this.
any money on that, right? Like, what do they have? Like,
Oh, 100% they
5-10
turned into
minutes
like
of
National
footage.
Geographic.
Nah, I don't
I'll
go to
make some money
PBS.
out of
we
that.
that shit.
found the
Yeah.
missed people.
Danny was actually shooting the anacondas the whole time.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
lens cap was on. Oops.
Oh
It's
god.
literally it's just there's another cut of this movie that's just found footage Blair Witch style, but it's just from Danny's POV.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch
A
that.
giant snake movie? Found footage movie?
That'd be pretty
Mm,
interesting.
That'd be pretty cool.
It could be good.
Could work. Could work.
It's usually ghosts and demons. You don't see it much with the killer animal genre. That's for damn
No.
sure.
Bigfoot. I've seen a
Bigfoot,
couple
yes.
of Bigfoot that are really good.
Yeah.
Closing. I have
Interesting.
closing thoughts when we wrap up this movie.
What are you getting on?
Well, that is it. That is Anaconda from 1997.
You
Next
know what we
week.
didn't do?
What?
You didn't ask what we thought of the movie.
Listen, with all the issues we had at the beginning of this, with all of our tech issues and shit, and then I did an intro and the video stopped, and I had to do it again. My brain's all over the goddamn place. All right.
You'll get that.
I at least want my closing comment. That's all I care about.
Listen,
Carry
we
on.
can do it right now. What did you think of this movie?
All right. What we think. Okay, go ahead, dear.
Yeah,
No,
well,
go ahead.
Let the guest go.
No,
Let the
'cause-
guest go.
yeah.
I'm just throwing it to anybody.
I'll go
Just-
any which way you want us to go.
Whoa.
I think it's good. I don't think it's great by any stretch of the imagination. It's a good popcorn flick. I was definitely high when I watched it.
Yes.
And it improved it greatly.
Awesome.
It's listen, it's like a 3 out of 5 for me personally. Like it's fine. Like as long as you go into this knowing what it is, like don't expect a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Expect it's a giant fucking snake movie. John Voight sounds like an asshole for most of it.
That's great.
And you're really just there for fucking Ice Cube. Let's not even kid ourselves.
Oh.
And it's a good time. It's a 90 minutes. It's fast. You kind of get through it. The kills are pretty good. It's good. It's not great. It's good.
So on our show, we do. You know, where would you put the movie? Is it in the dumpster or is it on the shelf?
But
This is on the shelf for me, and I'm not there for Ice Cube. I'm there for J-Lo's booty and of course the giant snake.
Yes.
The titular anaconda, or anacondas, as we find out. But this movie's a ton of fun. Like I remember seeing this again. Like I remember seeing this in the theater as a kid, and like I loved reptiles growing up, especially snakes. And anaconda was like my favorite snake. So getting to seeing a movie about a giant killer anaconda, I mean, made my dreams come true. Right. So also I'm a big fan of monster movies and B monster movies, and that's exactly what you get out of this. You get a B movie on an A movie budget, and it's just a ton of fun for me to watch. It's a great like kickback. It's a good hangover movie. It's a good J-Boy movie. It's a good six packer. It's a good just anytime, right? Especially now in the summer because it's nice and hot and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just a good time. The CGI is dodgy here and there, but I think it holds up for the most part. The animatronics still look amazing. They look really, really good. John Voight's fucking hilarious. Every scene he's in, he is chewing that fucking scenery with his bad Al Pacino accent from Scarface.
Him and Al Pacino went to the same school for accents.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He definitely watched Scarface before in preparation for this movie, big time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think everybody's just okay. Owen Wilson feels kind of out of place because you think he'd be the comedy relief, but he's mostly just like the stoner guy on the side, kind of, which is a little weird to me. But I would have loved to see this film with fucking Chris Farley and what's his face,
Tim Curry.
I forgot his name, and Tim Curry. Yeah, excuse me. That would be a sight to behold for sure. It's fun seeing Danny Trejo without a mustache for a little bit. It's a good time. I think it's a really fun time. It's still the best giant snake movie ever.
Did you ever see
So far.
Python?
Yeah, that's the one with Robert Englund, right?
Yeah.
Direct to video. I remember that
Oh,
one
yeah.
too, where it's like red on the cover with the eye and the two
Mhm.
fangs.
Yep.
That one's not too bad, you know. But again, the direct-to-video stuff suffers because they don't have the budget to pull off a giant fucking snake.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
That's why this still reigns supreme. Where it's not the best movie in the world or the best plot or whatever, but everything, all of the snake stuff looks good.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I fucking dig it.
Can you dig it?
What about you guys?
Oh, my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do I have to go first? You
Okay.
go first.
Jesus, are we doing this again?
Yes, go first.
Okay. I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie. I did not watch it in the theaters, but I remember watching it on VHS when I was younger. And oddly, I have a memory of renting it from a video store that had a comic book rack, and it was the same time I was buying the Starship Troopers comics.
Oh,
I don't know why I always connect those two. But anyway, fun movie, like you said. It's cheap. It's what it is. But I would say of this era, as far as like the killer nature animal kind of movies that came out that weren't, even though I know this was released in theaters, but I think it is all right for what it is. It's a fun movie, like you said. It's a fun, quick film, and you guys pretty much covered everything else. So I'm in agreement with what y'all said.
Well, yeah.
Because I can't. What else to add?
It's right in the pocket with Deep Blue Sea and Lake Placid and shit like that. And it was a good time for giant monster flicks or like nature gone awry flicks in that little pocket of the late 90s. So
also the natural disaster stuff like Twister, Dante's Peak, stuff like that could all be rolled in. So
You did.
yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm solid.
We're gonna have to hand signals or something.
We'll
we talk about this every week.
Every week. Just
never gonna happen.
Stare at each other.
Don't worry. Yeah. Don't worry. I do all the editing, so I'll make sure to add that.
We'll make this really fun.
Oh yes, we can make it really fun for you. No, I mean I have to agree with you guys. Fun movie. Definitely enjoyable. Not sure when I first watched it. I do know it's not the first time I've watched it. But it's been about 15 years plus.
It's been a long time.
Oh, wow.
It's been, well, our oldest is 13, and we've been married for 15 years. And it was before we got together, because I've not watched it since I've been with him. So,
wow.
But yeah, definitely would watch it again. All the good stuff.
This was I think this was the first time my wife watched this movie, and she laughed her ass off the whole time until she passed out.
That's great.
She literally was every time, like I swear, every scene she was laughing, and then I turned like 10 minutes later and she's passed out. But so I guess she enjoyed it up until then. I love this movie. I used to watch this movie religiously. Like every time we would go, when I go to my dad's, we would always go to the rental store, and we would. It was one of those movies. I was like, I haven't seen this in like a couple weeks. I think it's time. It'd be that and Child's Play or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, the cover is so good though, man.
It's
like
great.
When you see that at the video store, you're just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do that one again.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with the Crocodile Hunter when I was a kid, and of course, like, there were episodes of him going to the Amazon and dealing with actual anacondas and so I loved these type of movies, like Anaconda, Komodo. I loved Komodo, Python, Lake Placid, Alligator. Like those are great.
Oh, yeah.
Those were my jams because I was obsessed with just anything animals. So even though it was
the next best
then
thing
you got
because...
Jaws, Jaws is my favorite movie, and it's it's about a very unrealistic shark, but it's great.
They're like the closest thing to dinosaurs, right? That's why I love them so much as a kid.
Jurassic Park again, it's great. This movie's still, even watching it, for this episode, I was just like, man, it still holds up. I don't care. Like, the CG's a little shoddy, but you got to think it's 1997. They didn't have the budget like Steven Spielberg had for Jurassic Park, and even back then, like, it's just the 90s CG. You just got to take it or leave it. It's not going to be great. At least it's not as bad as Spawn. So,
no.
I agree though, but you got to keep it in mind when you watch this movie what it is.
Yeah.
I
mean, Titanic came out the same year, but you can't compare it because of the budgets and what they were able to do with that movie.
Well, Titanic was like the first movie to do like CGI people in a real way, in a big way. So
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Well, that is it for this episode. Next week, we are going to be back talking more Terminator as we venture into the not so good phase of the Terminator franchise with Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
Oh, jeepers.
Joe's
creepers.
favorite.
Yeah.
I hate that fucking movie, dude.
Listen,
did you guys Salvation?
That's
are
after.
we yay
That's
or nay here?
I am.
Wait, they didn't get there yet.
Oh,
I will say right now, I've always been a fan of Salvation. That's as far as I'll go. I've always been a fan of it.
If you're going through them again, it's gonna hold up like gangbusters. It's gonna be a nice palate cleanser after 3. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I haven't seen 3 in a very long time, so it's gonna be very interesting. So yeah, so we're gonna be going back.
It's not for me.
So Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines is next week. Joe, Sean, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It is definitely an honor to have you on the show, and definitely hope to have you back again very soon.
Thank you guys so much for having us, and I'm glad we finally got to make it connect, even though, despite technical difficulties and other bullshit. But yeah, we finally made it. So thanks for having us, and we had a really fun time.
I'm glad.
Anaconda for a while.
Yeah,
Yes, a while.
It's been on my calendar for so long. It's like like Anaconda. It's there. We're gonna do it. We had talked about doing Anaconda way before I had asked you guys to be on to do it, because I love that movie, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna ask them if they want to be on it, because it feels like it's your ballpark. So I felt like it was a perfect episode to bring you guys on.
Oh hell yeah, man! Had a blast revisiting it.
I'm glad. So tell everybody where they can find you, and also tell everybody about your big show coming up.
Oh geez. Yeah. So you can find us at moviedumpsterpodcast.com. You can check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/moviedumpster. Subscribe, please, and like our videos, and listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. We got a store, we got a Patreon, all kinds of good stuff over there. Over on Patreon, we got $2, $5, and $10 tiers.
Yep.
And if you subscribe
tracks
to the $10 tier, you get a beautiful shirt like I'm wearing. And
you get a t-shirt, you get a pin,
you get some stickers and goodies. I won't pull them all out, but they're really cool.
Yeah, so we have a $2 tier, which you get like all the behind the scenes pictures, news, all that kind of good stuff.
Junk mail we do, which is our mailbag videos. You get mini-sodes on the $2 tier.
5 is commentary tracks, and we also do live watch-alongs, exclusive to Patreon, where we just basically we go kind of in a private Twitch chat, throw the movie on, bullshit with the fans, and
we watch it live with you, and you get to talk to us as we're doing it, so that's fun.
Our most recent one was Rumpelstiltskin.
That was a good one.
You can check out the archive. It's I love that movie. It was a fun watch-along. Had the sunglasses on and everything.
And as far as our live show goes, Saturday, July 16th at the Colonial Theater in Phoenixville, PA, we are doing a double feature in 35mm film of Ghoulies and The Gate. And that's going to be our first live in-person show. We're going to have live bits in between the films and before the films. We're going to have huge giveaways. We're going to have a bunch of vendors, a bunch of our friends and other people in the community getting together, having a good time, supporting each other, supporting and hanging out and watching, B movies. It's going to be Little Rubber Monster movies. There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm crossing my fingers.
So
you might
really
see me there.
You better come.
Oh my God, that'd be
Gotta
awesome.
represent, dude.
Yeah, we live too far away.
We'd love to see you. If you can make it out, that would be awesome. We'd love to see it.
I'm trying my hardest. It's all persuasion. It's trying to persuade the wife to let me leave and leave the 3 kids with her.
If you cannot make it, there will be something special for people on Patreon that are, that live on the other side of the country or can't make it for whatever reason. So just keep that in mind as well.
Alrighty. Yes. Awesome. We are Dissect That Film on everything, Instagram, Twitter, all the other places. Make sure to go to our YouTube. Our YouTube isn't as popular, but go there anyways. Hit subscribe. It's free, and listen to us on all the podcast services because we're there. DNA Gaming. Where can
go
we
do
find
that?
You?
Do that.
Yeah, where can they find us?
It's all down there.
Yeah, we don't even do it because it's like, everything is down. Everybody's links and all that is gonna be down in the description for Movie Dumpsters, ours, and DNA Gaming. Until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is DNA Gaming, and that is Movie Dumpster. This has been the Dissect That Film podcast, episode 61. We'll see y'all again next time. Bye-bye.
Watch Jurassic Park 3.
See ya.
Yeah, not this